Alright. Hey, everybody. Friday night. Not Slay the Spire time. Tonight, instead, I wanted... This is something I've done a couple times now. Did one, actually, last week, and then a few months back with a set release. This is something I've had a lot of enjoyment out of, and this is looking at, new set releases, for Pokemon, and just sort of enjoying looking at Pokemon art. That's it. That's the entire bit here. Yes, there's a lot to talk about on the cards as well, and like things that might build into a fun deck combinations, bits like that. But really, this is like probably like 3.5 hours if you look at the VOD time, and it's just gonna be like, yo, look at that cool bug. I enjoy looking at cool bugs. I hope you all enjoy looking at cool bugs over here. There's a lot of cool dogs. What we can start with, though, let's go ahead and actually take a look at the pair of decks that we start with from Twilight Masquerade. Twilight Masquerade is the set that came out on PTCG Live this week. It is a set that focuses, you know, with the naming on our DLC Legend crew. I've not yet played Scarvi's DLC. I was given a crash course in it, so at least I'd be familiar with these. But we have a few legends that. So I'm just like the crash course started with. So you know Dawn Brothers, right? And that was basically all I needed. Was like, oh yeah, okay, all right. This is it's Momotaro's, which is like an old folklore tale about a boy born out of a peach. Peach floated down the river, born out of a peach, made friends with a dog and a bird and a monkey, and fought some ogres. There are a number of tokusatsu shows that use that as their starting point, the most recent being Dawn Brothers, which was, oh god, 2 years ago now. Oh boy. Anyway, let's take a look at like what our base deck is. Our base deck works off of we got Poltergeist. Can't be hit on the bench. It's very tiny. Poltergeist becomes Sinistcha. They're like Sinistee, but different with the chai going on. We have to spill the tea. But then the deck is really about this Ogerpon EX, who has these different masks. You can see our little buddy here in the back. That's our little buddy. Ogerpon has different masks that swap between. And we kind of are, I guess in this deck, we are specifically using Ogre's Mask. Choose a Pokemon EX and your discard pile that has Ogerpon in its name. Switch it with one of your EX that has Ogerpon in its name. It gains, you know, keeps the damage. So that's deck one. But yeah, Sinistee, but for Macho. Yeah. 1012 and 1013. Goodness. We also have some characters from the deals. Oh wow. Okay. Stuff we'll get more into when we get deeper here, but the other deck is based around one Pokemon. That's right, it's Dreepy. Everyone's favorite Pokemon, everyone's like big winner, Dreepy. But really, Dragapult, I think, is the one that people that has been like, a threat, because it's very effective at what it does. Made a music video where Dreepy is one of the stars. Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk more about Dragapult when we get, deeper into that. But this is the whole deck around Dragapult and some friends. So, but the Pokemon TCG loves to give you like really powerful decks just for free. So it doesn't surprise me that like if this is one of the premier decks out of the set, that tends to be what you're given. I know like the Baxcalibur deck I have together was just like, hey, have a Baxcalibur deck, and I edited it. So anyway, let's go ahead and start where I wanted to start here. With a friend. We saw Tangela before when we were looking at 151. That Tangela was in the... had a supporter for it and was in a world where it didn't have Tangle growth sort of as its build around. So here we have a Tangela that's a lot more generic, but having a fun time reaching out and enjoying the flowers. The Tangela's feet are just like red rubber shoes. But ooh, okay. I'm enjoying the Tangle growth kind of wiggling here, having a good dance. Yeah. Take 30 less damage, does 150 minus 10 for each damage on it. Okay. So Tangrowth here, has a damage resistance. He might be able to set up a little more if I remember right. I think there's some stage 1 tools that do damage resistance, but 30 isn't going to be a huge amount when we see big numbers coming through, and even something like 100 turns off your attack. Still, a notable feature here is that 4 retreat. That's very funny. Does Tangle have that? No, Tangle has too. But I'm really liking the dancing. This is a good dance. Tangrowth fact knows the Shinkiko. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right on that one. I've seen that. Ooh, okay. This is a very stompy pincer, and we have a very stark shadow on the bottom part. I like how we're looking straight in. Discard all slow crunch. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. At the end of your opponent's turn, the defending Pokemon will be knocked out. Get out of there. You need to leave. This pincer is here to kill you. You are going to die. I've talked about this a lot, and I'll repeat it a lot because it's something I enjoy a lot about the Pokemon TCG, is that nearly every card we see serves a really unique purpose. And even at a glance, no matter who your favorite Pokemon is, you can take a look at their card, and they have something cool going on. Maybe not necessarily good. You can just switch out of this and they don't take the knockout. But it's the same as Perish Song and actual Pokemon, right? Perhaps it still lets you look at Pinsir and be like, yeah, that's Pinsir. Pinsir is gonna crunch you. Or, we do have a pretty fine attack down here too. This is extant real, fine. Spinarak at the bus stop, what will they do? Spinarak at the bus stop, what will they do? The Spinarak looks much bigger than 1 foot 8 inches, but bigger Spinarak angles. What a fun looking friend here. Yeah, so the effect is applied to the defending Pokemon, and it needs to do something about it. It's a floating effect. So, yeah, Spinarak. I wonder where they're going on the bus stop. Will we find out? Let's find out. They have Bug Bite. This is fine. Ooh, okay. Ariados. In the web, waiting. This is a nice above shot. Your opponent's active evolution. Okay. And then one, so, you know, you hit for 10 plus 30 on their retreat. Evolution. So basics. Ariados does not know how to defeat the basic Pokemon. Is having a fun time building a web up here though. They're just having a good day up here. Like, all right, bug time. Somebody will come to me. Shaw. Oh, okay. Just a very direct Sunkern face. Like, I'm really enjoying the smile that Sunkern has. Sunkern is never the strongest, but sometimes the happiest. Does fine with the bullet seeds. All right, what do we continue with the Sunkern? Oh, wow! Look at the happy Sunflora. This is a really neat, like, the background on here that's like quilted or like you know, this patchwork together, and we have like cloud shadows. Sunflora has a very, very distinct play, and that is I am going to deal damage to Charizard equal to 600. Or however I feel, you know? Very much that's a funny, like, bit to do. You know, it's, the power of the sun coming from your opponent. So, like, you can't control how good this is. But, like, if you have a buddy who just continuously beats you up with, you know, Arcanine, it cannot be stopped. But it's funny because, like, also, you know, weakness, so. But yeah, I like the, like, I'm getting a paper feel out of this, you know? Like, and then, like, laying in the sun. Everyone's, like just a hero of a bug. Heracross, I'm the Heracross respecter, Heracross liker. Very general, just sort of is. We have a bug, pretty expensive attacks, does some damage. Is here, is looking into the sky. With circulating power, it can easily throw an object that has 100 times its own weight. 5 tons. It will flip you. If you ever come across a Heracross, you will hear the words, "I'm a chuckster." And thus, it's time for you to get flung. Oh, okay. Looking at our very fun art here. Again, the wispiness of the Twilight, I'm liking the look of our Volbeat here. Volbeat, very happy, very fun. Quick sign, if you go first, you can use this attack turn 1. Search for 2 basic Pokemon. Oh! So Volbeat can set up even on... So on turn 1 in Pokemon, you can't play a supporter and you can't attack. Like, that's that's what you pay for going first. But this lets you... You can do this on turn 1. And then Volbeat has a friend. If you find a friend, then you get to do 80 damage on your little basic. I wonder if our friend will have like matching art. Is it the same artist? It is. Oh yes. Oh, not only is it same art, that's so good. Yeah. Big fan. You can only use this attack if you can use this attack only if you go second and on your first turn. Shuffle a bench Pokemon away. Oh, okay. So this is the opposite side where this is only usable on turn 2 rather than turn 1. And you can snipe a bench away to like get rid of a setup. Yeah, not only like do I like the split pieces, I really like the style that Volbeat and Illumis Illumis? But they look great. Interesting that we don't care about Volbeat on this side. Still, Heracross got Seismic Toss in Gen 2. Yeah. Good pair. Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Really like the kind of like penciled look of this. Leafeon just investigating the flowers. I really enjoy the style that we're drawn in here. Like it has the feeling of like like penciled in, but with this nice color. Leaflet Blessings evolves from Eevee. Attach a basic from your hand, energy from your hand to a bench, heal it all. Okay. So it's acceleration from your hand that also can like knock off damage. You can either use that as a way to like, if you had like something large that was soaking hits and needed to heal off, or just use that as a way to like, you know what, some attacks are expensive and I want my buddy Heracross to go for a Seismic Toss or something. Probably something a little more efficient than that, but you know what I mean. Good old Leafeon. Oh. Phantump. Phantump has found the stump. Yeah, it's something that as we're going through these different sets, we're gonna see kind of like every type has its own take on acceleration, but every type also has like mechanics that are like kind of defining it, or not, maybe not defining, but are like within their purview. And like healing and special condition removal is something that like grass gets. Behold, Stump. We got this nice moon reflection. We got this nice nighttime Phantump. I've said it before, but nighttime shots like this, I'm a huge fan of. I wonder what Trevenant's gonna look like. Trevenant has... I remember some historical, powerful Trevenants. Okay, so Leech Seed does 20, heals 20, but the large Trevenant specifically heals off what you do for damage, which sets you off on a thought of, how can I up that damage to like try to make sure Trevenant can full heal if Trevenant isn't one shot? Alternately, you can throw the entire forest on them. You can take the sign, you can turn the sign, you can take the sign, you can bop them on the head with the sign. The power of the forest is in your hand. Trevenant is very kind to the Pokemon living in the forest. You must understand, Trevenant is a friend to all children. A little menacing to you, though. Grookey! Yeah! Good old Grookey. Having a good time. Just hang in there, Grookey. What a nice, fun friend here. Grookey from our Sword Shield. Because it's Grookey, it's why can't I remember the name of the water one that goes with Grookey? Sobble, yes, okay. Because I'm thinking of the Intellion, the full evolution. I'm like, all right, Intellion and that's not it. But yeah, good friend, hanging out. Love to see, we're in one thing that's very cool. We were taking a look at 151 before, and it's like, okay, that set's gimmick is Generation 1. But as a kind of how these sets play out, we're not just looking at Scarvi. We have Pokemon from across all sorts of generations that get to hang out here. Boom, boom. Yo, okay. This is exciting looking art. Look at it. Look, Thwacky is having a very fun time out here making these, like, thwack noises. Once during your turn, if your active Pokemon has the Festival Lead ability, you may search your deck for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. I have to wonder if that is the ability on... Festival Lead. Well, keep an eye out for who Thwacky is a friend with. The mysteries. Interesting to see this on a middle evolution. It's the designs of middle evolutions are something that has a good amount of thought put into it as far as the card designs go, because Grookey is going to be in play early. And often, if you're building a deck around Rillaboom, Rillaboom is going to be in play because you're setting up. Yo, Rillaboom looks awesome as hell here. Not only do we have like this, I love doing the drumstick spin, ready to do a real loud thwonk, but like both our moves here are actually pretty cool. During your opponent's next turn, we have the attack up 1, retreat up 1, which, like, that can be a disruptive setup. And then Woodhammer being just big damage, big hit. But, like, what we want to do with the second evolution is making it a little more unique. Sometimes we have, like, I always think of Frogadier, as one from a long time back, where Frogadier had an attack that just set up a bunch of Frogadier. Or like a middle evolution that has like a usable ability. The Metang, yeah. The Metang from within the Metagross line has like a really powerful setup, ability. This is just reading Rillaboom here is just like really nice to read. Like this is just good number. Like, hey, you wanna come out here and beat the drum? You're gonna feel good doing it. And also, we got a fun action shot. Disguise. The Applin in secret. This is cute. Applin lives inside an apple. Mimic. Applin doesn't want to be found out, though. Well, the apple's not the Pokemon. Inside the apple is the Pokemon. Oh, I forgot about Diplin. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, we found the festival lead, and whoa. Hold on, that's a... So Diplin, you can see from the 1011 is from our from Scarvi DLC. If you're not familiar with if you're familiar with Applin but not Diplin, Applin Applin has like is really cool with these different evolutions. But the dipped apple for Diplin. Not only is this like deal 20 damage for each of your bench Pokemon, it doesn't split. Like, so say your Pokemon your opponent has a Pokemon that gets knocked out by this first attack, that they have to swap in. Like, that's okay. So we need to find, okay. So we have Festival Lead. We have Boom Boom Groove. So we need the Festival Grounds. Can you attack twice in a row, or you can play cards in between? I would assume twice in a row, but I don't actually know. I don't know how that would play. This is not a common ability. I'm stressing in my head to think. My guess is you can't play cards because once you go, it's like once you're attacking, you're going to end the turn. Like you would have ended the turn with the first attack, so the ability is granting you the floating attack. You have to attack twice in a row. Okay. What a fun Diplin though, by the way. I like that we have Applin kind of hiding in the apples and Diplin sort of like looking at the little dip. Ooh, Iron Leaves Future. Okay. Recovery Net here is a 2 Pokemon. Okay. That's fine. We have, I think we had a Golduck that did 4 in the last one. Really, I think the big thing is this is, if Pokemon will knocked out last turn, attack does 60 more. Does 160 double knockout? No. Okay. Just curious. was just curious. Not enough alone. Okay. The future of the Pokemon. Just hanging out, having a good time. So this is Poltergeist. This is on like a Sinistee play. Oh, Burndad, thanks for the sub. Storehouse Hideaway. If this sits on your bench, it prevent all damage and effects from attacks on opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. So 30 HP is, I think, is 30 HP is the lowest you're going to see outside of like literal substitute level stuff. So gets knocked over by a stiff breeze, but cannot be sniped off your bench. And also is just hanging out in the dishes. Oh, we've got 2 of them. Oh. Poltergeist looks like a regional form of Sinistee, but it was recently discovered that the 2 Pokemon are entirely unrelated. So this one can't be sniped on the bench, but is like worse off on its abilities here. Like, you know, this can recover an energy or maybe do a little attack. Has a little bit more health. Has the stick. Is hanging out in the window. I think I enjoy this, like, framing. Like, the T, like, in the window here is a nice framing for it. Alright, we're gonna get Sinistra. Alright. So let's actually read what our... Look at our buddy here. Look at this. Hey. Good friend hanging out. Just having a good bath of the cup. Curse drop. Put 400 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. Okay. Very Chalice Slime. Yeah. Discard up to 3 energy from any of your Pokemon. Doesn't have to be this one. 70 damage for each card you discarded in this way. Okay. So, Sinistcha here can take advantage of any acceleration you have from any Pokemon to set up to do some pretty sizable damage. I'm always a fan of these that scale how you want, in the sense that, like, if you're trying to snipe down an opposing Sinistcha, you don't have to discard 3 energy to blow everything up. You just need to knock it down. So Sinistcha is absolutely looking for a friend. So what sort of friend might come with ways to put grass energy into play is going to be a important thing to look for. Oh, big! Oh! Or, Rebrew. Put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon for each basic energy in your discard pile. Basic grass energy in your discard pile. Then shuffle those into your deck. Okay. And then the Matcha Splash for 120 heal 30. Okay. So, this Sinistcha discards all your energy to deal big damage. This Sinistcha recovers all that energy back into your deck for a big snipe on like a, maybe 120 to a 140 on a bench. That's cute. Nice to see these two working together. That's cute that we have synergies there. Also, I like the framing on the EX here, where we've got the little, like, we got some liquid sort of spilling out of the frame. Very cute. Hat. And a hair, too. From the you can see on here, it's the top of that. Alright, so here's Ogerpon. And this is Ogerpon with the teal mask up. Ogerpon, as we discussed, is the friend behind the mask. We saw in the deck that there's multiple different masks. Search for 2 basic energy. Okay, so this lets you set up... We saw that maybe swapping between Ogerpon, you might want different energy types, so that searches. And then big damage if your opponent's big benched. Like, if they're set up with 4 or 5, you can hit 100 or 120. Mischief. Like, we should see on... Yeah, because this will be Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. So, take a look in the background here. This is the little Ogerpon. And this is just like the mask going like, ah! Scary. So... Oh, hello! This seems quite good. Also is a very fun friend using the terrestrialized bit on Ogerpon. Once during your turn, you can attach a basic energy from your hand to this Pokemon. Draw a card. And then Leaf Shower here is 30 plus 30 for each energy on both. So minimum 120, likely bigger. Cute. Yeah, also, like, a way to get energy in play for Sinistcha. You can have, like, a couple Ogerpon sitting around powering up your tea. Your matcha. So, yeah, I think we have 4 different forms on Ogerpon here with different masks going, ooh. Oh. Relax, Vulpix. Just this very sleepy Vulpix in the forest. That's very nice. Very nice and colorful. Very like watercolor-esque is the thought when I see this. All right, do we have a Ninetales? We do. Ninetales hanging out by a crystal. Big crystal? And has like the blue glowy aura. Feels almost out of place in the environment that it's in here. Yeah, Ninetales in the open world video game zone. That is the feeling this looks like. You know, like that we're in Scarvi and here's one of the terastallization crystals and here's a mountain, like, you know. But yeah, I mentioned the Momotaro's story, and in the with Momotaro, the boy born in a peach, and his ape and dog and bird buddies that he joins, they're generally bopping ogres on the head. Burned and confused. Okay. I didn't even got to the text on here. Very straightforward what you're doing here. So the other Pokemon we have that are involved in there, we have a dog. We'll see them when we get later. Again, when I think of Momotaro's story, I do think of Dawn Brothers most recently, but Kamen Rider Den-O also comes up in my mind because you have Momotaro's the Imogen in that. Ooh. This is a nice, like, Slugma hanging out in like a little lava crater, just maybe taking a little, like, just sort of. It's a little like the outsides here have this like nice abstract coloring, so it's like, okay, we're in like a little lava pond. One of the notable D's types. We have a number of those these days, I suppose. But yeah, very relaxing. All right, how big's our Whoa, on my cargo. I was, so I don't know this set. I only know like the cards we looked at the beginning, basically, that there's a Dragapult and a couple of the trainers. So turning a corner and seeing an EX, like, that's exciting. Distress Yoshi. Wow. Okay. I also see the attack to aspire to here. Ground burn, 140 plus each, so discard the top card of each player's deck. You do an additional 140 for each energy discarded in this way. You'll have to note in like, if you were thinking about this in terms of Magic, you would think of this as like a 2 and 5, right? 24 lands in a 60 card deck. Like that's what you would think about it in like Magic terms, right? This is a 2 and 5. In Pokemon, you have to think of this as like a 1 in 5 or worse. Energy ratios are much, much, much lower. In Pokemon, you don't play 20 energy in a, playing 24 energy in a deck is unheard of, flat. Playing 12 in a number is probably overkill. You'd have to have like a reason to. So this isn't like a 2 and 5 twice. It's more like a 1 and 5 twice. However, if you have effects that can set this up in any way, that like even just getting the 180 or the 140 twice, making this 280. 280 knocks out anything that's not a EX 2 stage, right? Like, so that's cute. Is there Fate Seal in Pokemon yet? So like what? A few years back at this stage, there was a banned list for the expanded format that was something like a dozen cards, including like every card that could possibly manipulate the top of a player's deck. Because there was a deck that could get your opponent down to one or fewer cards on turn one and then also Fate Seal them. So you would start on turn 0 with like an energy you knew you were drawing and whatever one card you kept out of your 7. Just because then that specifically turned some of the rules in the game of Pokemon. So I don't know if like the Ice Pick, the shovel or whatnot that looks at your opponent's deck, if anything like that still exists. They literally changed the rules of the game and then banned a bunch of cards out of that. The quick of it was you would put your opponent to 4 cards very quickly with something with like a red card, and then like Delinquent blow up a stadium and make them discard 3. They're down to 1 card, and like or like Jesse James discarding a pair of Weezings or something, like just very silly stuff. Ramming Shell. Okay, I like that Torkoal here is on like the edge of a tile, right? Like check the like just we are directly on the edge of a grass tile and a rock tile. But like it fits with our style because like we like looking at how our we have this kind of like fun, like I kind of want to take a drink of the magma that's jumping in the background. But yeah, Torkoal there's definitely a fire flower up here. This is a fire flower. Seems fine. Seems extant. Seems real. Seems like I don't know. It's a Torkoal. A lot of steam in that Torkoal. Ooh. I appreciate the heck out of the style on this now. Again, we have this like paper look where we're very kind of very flat here, and we're jumping across some big gaps. We're hanging out up in the top of the mountains. Yeah, doing some Wukong things. All right, well, if we've got Chimchar, that implies 2 other cards that come after Chimchar, right? The Playful, Monferno. Okay, Monferno doesn't really have, like, you know, we don't have, like, a mill ability or something, like, hugely unique. That means that tends to mean that we're doing a lot heavier focus on the top of our evolution, and maybe the deck that played this would do rare candy things. We have this very, like, so in 151, we had a same artist across all of our evolutions. But here we have the different stylization on Monferno here, rather than our kind of like papercraftish look here. We've got these more smooth hills and like layers back here. Very rounded. Alright. Tell me one for an ape. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic fire, a basic fighting, or both from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. Okay. So, so Pokemon had dual types once, but not a common thing. But we do have cards that, like, encourage dual types. Because, you know, Infernape being firefighting and all that. So, I like that Infernape here is behind the big full moon. Somebody mentioned the Sun Wukong vibes of Chimchar and like when I don't know, big full moon Infernape. Definitely feels that too. Okay, and then like 200 plus discard 1, but you can power this out with 2 fire and a fighting energy from like nothing. Seems like tradition with Rock Fire, specifically Colossus offering ramp bolt up. Yeah, we had that as well with the Colossus. That was like a rock that wanted fire. Ooh, this is so cute. Ooh, I love the winds of the grass flowing here. It's a very minimalist style, but very cool looking. We're sort of kick a fireball. Fire tackle. Ooh. Oh no! Are you knocking down all the oranges? What's going on? All the crates! All of my oranges! All of my perfectly round oranges, no! This is so fire. Wow. Darmanitan here is incredibly fire. Big damage, hits itself for half. The dino in the left lap. Yeah. That's cute. I like the commitment on this. Like, you gotta be in fire. Like, if you want to hit, you hit hard, you hit twice. That's all you get, unless you have, you know, healing in some ways. Deliver punches capable of obliterating a dump truck. Like, specifically a dump truck. One thing I really like on this art is the way that it's kind of like grid-based. It looks like these oranges are all falling in a puzzle game. Even the clouds follow the grid. There are some things off the grid, but even like right here, we have like orange, hole. Like, this is the setup of a puzzle game that we just knocked out all the oranges on. That's cute. You have to match up all the oranges, and when you match 4 oranges, it becomes a big orange. Oh, hi, Litwick. That's gorgeous. The thick outline combined with the kind of wispy styling on it is great. Nice watery crystals, branch, Stein up back there. Chandelure is a big fan of Chandelure. Have 2 low. Nice. Oh, this is a DLC area? Nice. This is a Grace Mimic, but it doesn't do anything, like, bad to you when you, like, touch it. Like, you touch the Grace the Grace, and it wakes up and goes, meh. Okay, this is the crater at the top of Ogre Pond's mountain. Cool. Call for family, search for a basic, sure. Again, like, these attacks right here are your going second turn 1 attack. And that's like, hey, sure, you're absolutely fine doing this for the last piece of your setup on your turn. You get to go grab a Bidoof or something. Oh, the lighting on Lampent here is good too. Very soft. Burn it all up. All right. Well, let's find out about Chandelure. Chandelure, stage 2, hanging out in the city, very direct here with these, like, hanging out near these nice lamps. This is, again, love Pokemon in the big city. And this is a nice, like, down the street, loving the lamps. Once during your turn, you can have each player draw a card. Okay. Ah, I see. Chandelure is here. The Mind Ruler. 30 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. This is a game where that is like so you might think like, you know, thinking of like a game of Magic or something where it's like, well, the aggro deck runs down on cards. Like, it's true, but like a lot of decks have plans. Like when we were looking at when we were doing some playing, we have Bibarel, which draws you up to 5. You have your professors that draw you 7, and then you set up. And so like you can end, if you end the turn with, and also if you get a knockout, you're gonna get a prize from a knockout. So that combined with Alluring Light doing like a Howling Mine, that's cool. That's fun. Obviously, that's high risk giving your opponent cards, but you're getting them too. It's not for free, and this can be as big damage as you want. You don't have to use this if you already have the knockout, or like maybe you use a Judge or an Iono yourself to force your opponent to a certain card count. Yeah. Again, I love thinking about like how a card would build into a deck, even if the deck isn't competitive. I just want it to be a deck. Like, what would a Chandelure deck look like? And you can start seeing pieces. Ooh. High risk, given how frail Chandelure is by modern standards. Certainly. Like, we see a basic here with 110 for Chi-Yu. That where Chandelure has like 130 is like, you might just get hit for once for that to get knocked out. Chi-Yu, the ruinous Pokemon. Draw 2 cards. If a stadium is in play, do 60 more damage, then discard that stadium. Okay. This is, oh god, part of the, what is it, 4 of them? I think it's 4 of them that Chi-Yu is like a group with. That are the like one of the like post-game things you have in Scarvi. Very yokai. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Disaster Goldfish. Ooh, it's Hearthflame Ogrepon EX. Okay, so again, we have our little friend, little buddy, little friend. Giant big mask, let's go. Power of the ogre. Wrathful Hearth deals 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Okay. That is like with 210 to spare. That's max 400 if you're at 10. Dynamic Blaze, if your opponent is an evolution, deal 140 more and burn all your energy. Oh. Huh. So, like, if it's not an evolution, 140 will kill, right? 140 will kill even, like, the biggest of basic we see with Chi-Yu here, or, like, some of the others, like, Paldean, Taurus, something like that. If you're fighting an evolution, you do have to burn this for the to go to 280. 280 can again knock out anything that isn't like stage 2 EX. But like could be overkill if you're like fighting a Chandelure or something like that. So needs a lot of energy to be working. You gotta have some power for the Hearthflame to work. Angie. Little buddy. Oh, this is another in my favorite. We had the Poliwhirl full art previously that had the Poliwhirl in a cityscape looking at the rain on the ground. I love the looking at the mirror, especially with seeing the spiral below, because it's the spiral changes direction. This is good. This is really, really good, small friend. Yeah, very wistful. That's a good, just, hanging out. Its legs are newly grown. All right. Let's learn. Yo! Poliwhirl here having a great time. Just, we're out at like looks like a campsite. Got this tent over here. I think these are lanterns. This might be a location in the DLC. That would not surprise me. Yeah, there's another DLC location. The festival. Okay, that makes sense. I just love. Okay, now is it gonna be Poliwrath or Politoed? Obviously, in 151, we knew the answer to that, or maybe both. I feel it's easy to forget about Politoed. Like, okay. I like the action on Poliwrath here. We have like this backwards jump as we're unloading. Also, this is a nifty attack. Okay. So you do 120. You can choose to hit for 240, but you lose Poliwrath. But you don't lose Poliwrath. You don't like lose you don't take the knockout. But if you decide to use your meter to go for a for a full Shoryuken, you can do a Shoryuken, or you can use your like 2 bars, right? So if we use our 2 bar, that's actually, I like this as a way to dodge a knockout. Like, say you take a hit that's like, you take a 120 hit and you're dead on the next, on the crackback. Just leave. Poliwrath, you had burst. Like, you gotta use all your meter. You lose the Poliwrath. You lose the whole time you took to get there, but time to leave. The backdash here is, I think, my favorite part of this art. The way that it looks like we're like sliding backwards. And we got the rainbow. We got Pride coming up. It's always Pride. Oh! Hold on, Goldeen. The Festival Goldeen? What do you mean, the Festival Goldeen? I love having this specific music for the Goldeen. The Hollow Knight Goldeen fight. I love the Goldeen jumping in the fireworks. I love the reflection of the fireworks. And of course, but the reason we have this is for the scooping, right? Yeah, you catch the goldfish at the festival. That's why it's a festival. First, I was looking at so Whirlpool is not here for damage. This is here for either disruption or for an easy festival lead mechanically. But you got to catch the goldfish in the scoop. That's cute. Sea King leaves the festival. Oh, okay. And also, wow. Sea King here, talking about a Pokemon performing a unique task. If your opponent is the Rever Room deck, if your opponent is the like pile of tools on a Rever Room that can hold 4 of them, Sea King shows up and You called? Horn drill. Thanks, Sea King. In autumn, its body becomes more fatty and preparing to propose to a mate. It takes on beautiful colors. Thanks, Sea King. Sorry, I just saw human-shaped Pokemon for Jinx. Inviting Kiss. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it on the bench, shuffle the deck, then if you put a bench Pokemon on the bench, move an energy from this to... Oh! That's cute. You get a little smooch. Jinx hands you a little smooch and hands you an energy. Very dark nighttime in this one. Corfish is here inviting you in. Welcome. It might look like Corfish is going to give you the clamps, but Corfish is actually here to welcome you in. Also, maybe give you a little bit of the clamps. Ruffian. The angle is very good here, where we have this very low to the ground to make Corfish big. Not much for an attacker. You're not looking to spend 3 energy on that. But Crawdont. Alright, what does Crawdont have? Snip, snip. Yo, Crawdont's been training under the waterfall for 100 days and 100 nights. Crawdont is here to protect the treasure of the waterfall. If you want that great ball that's hidden there, the Crawdont will be there to fight you for it. Snip, snip. 2 coins, mill 1. Okay. So it's incidental mill, and then like a big attack. That incidental mill can add up. Pokemon, for the most part, is not a game where milling 2 cards from your opponent is going to put them in a heavily advantageous state. You know, it's like in Magic, there are some times where you go, well, I will mill my opponent 10 cards, and they go, thanks? And then just kill you with, like, you know, cool, powerful moves, or, you know, because they have flashback cards and you've given them 2 or 3 advantages. Or in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where if you were to mill an opponent 10, they would look at you very funny, then kill you on the spot in any deck, because you just let them draw 10 cards. In Pokemon, there are some things that do recursion from the graveyard, but it's a lot rarer. Oh my god! Oh! We're gonna hit one of my favorites! This is, I've talked about my favorites, when we saw Metagross earlier, you know, in a previous time. Metagross and Melodic are my 2 absolute favorites. Volcarona's in there too. It's those 3. Phoebus though. Phoebus has the Magikarp lines here. Flail, which does almost no damage. It dies to anything. It's hiding under the water on one of those 6 tiles. This is mechanically a card that's been in use since the very first set. Yeah, this is just Magikarp. Like, this is what Magikarp looks like. I'm very happy to know about the giant Larvesta plushie that's, like, life-sized. For one, the fact that a 2.5 like foot plushie is life-sized is distressing, but like real, you know. I mean, this fish is 2 feet, right? Like, a life-size Phoebus is the most huge fish you've ever seen. Anyway. Mentally calm. Your opponent's Pokemon in play and all attached cards can't be put into your opponent's hand. The action on Melodic here is really nice. We have this very, like, determined look along with the movement here. I like that. What is that blocking? That's blocking Turo? That's blocking anything that would do scoop up stuff. Yeah, anything AZ, anything that's like the pickup. This is a very, like, specific counter, but I feel like what it's stopping is probably, like, gonna feel it hard. Like, you can't bounce around energy or tools or anything, so. It lives at the bottom of clear lakes. I love Melodic. I have a pair of Pokemon that have been with me since Emerald, specifically. I have a Melodic and a Metagross that have every single new generation. I have them. They have an egg, and that egg goes to the next generation, and so that generation has gone on for like 6 generations now. Down from Emerald to Diamond to White version to X to Sun to Shield and then Violet. So, like, there's like 7 generations of Melodic and Metagross. It's fun because it means they get to be slightly different both in, like, nature and stuff, but also move sets because a generation might have different things they learn. For instance, Emerald's the Emerald Metagross is one that knows Explosion, because Explosion's really was like a lot more effective in older generations. It had a half defense power. I think the Diamond one had Stealth Rock, because Stealth Rock was gettable by TM near that era, either in Emerald or in Diamond, I don't remember which. And so they keep changing over the years. It's the most beautiful thing I've heard in a month. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it as much as I do here. There's one generation where the Metagross is a special attacker. It keeps you on your toes, because instead of Zen Headbutt and Meteor Mash, you just turn on Modest, turn on some, like, have some EVs and special, and nobody's gonna see that coming, right? It's nowhere near as powerful, but nobody's gonna see it coming, right? And so getting to have a different setup generationally is so fun with those two. The Volcarona doesn't do the same generational, because Volcarona comes along. There's a part of my favorite trio, but doesn't have the same generational gap. There's even a couple branches. There's a version. There's a cousin over in Omega Ruby, and then I think Heart Gold also has another cousin off the line. So, yeah, I don't think, like, I think, nowadays getting from Emerald to now is, wild, but I'm astonished. Oh, love to turn a page and just get hit with a beautiful friend. Storant here. That's a Snow Hat Pokemon. Made themselves a nice little house. It's the Snow Hat, Snow Hut. That's very cute. Astonish is, like, not unusable either. Like, It's effectively a discard, a little denial attack. Glalie. Ooh. The damage beat. Deals 20 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. This is... We had the Raticate in 151 that had a similar-ish line. I think they had 10 and 30. No base damage, so you need a friend to start this out. I don't know if I appreciate the teeth. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I don't. I'm sorry, Glalie. I need to move on. I'm just not here for the teeth. Ooh, we have both sides. Oh, okay. Frostlass. During Pokemon Checkup, put 1 damage on each Pokemon that has an ability, yours and your opponent's, except any Frostless. Okay. What if everybody's poisoned? You can... This doesn't have any text that prevents it from stacking. Yeah, it doesn't say active either, so it would work off the bench. Alright, if you just wanted to, like, really stack the damage. Oh! Also, you know, this is a friend for Glalie to start the damage train. I understand. That makes sense. I do have to say I'm a much bigger fan of the Frostless here. I don't know. That's interesting. Yo! Glaceon. Glaceon in the fresh blizzard. We got the like the snow flying by in the winds, but the sky is nice and bright. End of your opponent's turn, 9 damage counters on the defending. Okay, so this is like it's similar-ish to the crunch that Pinsir had, except for it's not lethal. It's just if you stick there, you're taking the rest of the hit. So Glaceon is telling you to leave. Okay. Alright. I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to step away for just a second to refresh a drink. So please enjoy. Did you enjoy? Oh, hey now. Thanks for the raid. Howdy. I appreciate it. Oh, it's Fiona. This is the Manaphy baby? Very odd one. Because it's not like a evolution line or whatever. It's just like sort of Manaphy. This lets you recur supporters or punish big energy. Okay. I like the relaxing. Like, Fiona here is just hanging out in the like, shallows. That's nice. Alright, does that mean we'll have Manaphy as the next one? Oh! Okay, yes. I'm the hugest fan of a little friend out in nature. Here's Froakie out in nature. These are the ones you get that you get to enjoy when you look at them. It's just a little friend. This is a Yukimori art. These are Yukimori's been doing these for decades, and they're always so great. Love to have a little friend out in nature. You can see, like, we're at, like, a stream. Oh, we get more Froakies. Okay. Interesting. I'll note, I don't know what we're going to get here, but Greninja, as befitting its very popular status, Greninja, like, very often, like, very highly popular Pokemon, has had a lot of playable cards. Very, like, good, like, a number of, like, Radiant Greninja is still a card that's around in every deck, but, like, a number of older Greninjas have been very good, so. Alright. This is the staunch Frogadier. Very little of an attack. So, you're setting up multiple Froakies. You get to your Frogadiers. They are hanging out in the river, waiting. Very distinct outlines. What? What do you mean? Oh, is Greninja Terra-typed? It's gotta be a Terra-typed Greninja, which would also befit its status as a Greninja. Okay. We'll find out what Greninja's secret is later. No, Cramorant! No, Cramorant ain't the Greninja. I love Cramorant. Of the newer generation of Pokemon, Cramorant is just such a fun bird. Cramorant here has Cramorant, and then it's Cramorant spitting up. Cramorant has the very powerful Lost Zone Cramorant. Cramorant loves to have a Pikachu wiggling in its beak. Cramorant features in the 23rd Pokemon movie, the Secrets of the Jungle. Cramorant can discard all energy to deal 120 to a bench. Okay, that's actually a really powerful snipe. Like, 120 to a bench is no smoke. That's real. Like, you have to... The problem with piercing is that you usually have to pierce a Manaphy first, but, you know. Oh. Again, we have a nice color. The coral gives us some really nice color to go with our Finizen here. Our general citizen Finizen. Yep, that's Finizen. I don't know what to tell you. So. Palafin. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from the active spot to the bench, you can search your deck for a Palafin EX and switch it with this Pokemon. It keeps any effects, damage, etc. If you switch your Pokemon this way, put this in the deck. Okay. Palafin's ability, in Pokemon is that you want to swap Palafin in and out, and then it becomes more powerful when it comes back in, because it becomes the big Palafin, which I'm sure we'll see on Palafin EX here. 0 to hero. Hercules. Yeah, Palafin's attack here is nothing. This is absolutely not what you're looking for. But okay, so you need Palafin active, and then you need to back off. Yeah, it has to go into the phone booth and pull off a... That's when you hear Palafin's theme. Palafin EX, 340 HP for a stage 1. I'll note this is more HP than Charizard EX. You can't play this in any other way but the 0 to hero, but when you... Henshin! When you hear those words, justice is here. Yeah, Giga Impact hits for 1 energy, 100 million. Yeah, you can only do Palafin EX. Aqua Dolphin wishes. Yeah, this Pokemon can't attack. You can have that fall off by swapping. So, like, the idea is that you either are going to have to, like, take a turn off or swap to somebody else with some effect. So. But yeah, that's cool. The payoff here is huge. Because this is, as we've seen, these numbers are way bigger than what a stage 1 gets. But you're jumping through an extra hoop that's like getting an extra evolution by putting Palafin in the front and then swapping out. So, yeah. What a cool design. I'm always impressed by, like, Pokemon being able to have fun new designs like this that also are fitting to what the Pokemon plays like. Very cool. To retreat. Henshin. Oh. Okay, the Iron Bundle here. This is really cute. Like, I like this is like a very speedy robot bird. The avalanche behind. Just, and switch this Pokemon with one on your bench, your opponent. Okay, and the attack fits that. It attacks and immediately goes zoom, switches out, and forces your opponent to switch. Yeah, if only you had some way to swap. You know, that's cute. What a good friend. Iron Bundle, what a wild Pokemon. Ooh. Walking Wake. This is the Suicune ancient. Aurora Gain, heal 20. Undulating Slice, that's a word for it. Put up to 9 damage on this Pokemon. This attack does 20 per damage. Okay. So you get to, again, talking about, like, if you need to pull out massive damage, you can do it. But, like, you can exactly fix where you need to on, like, Walking Wake here. Okay. Oh, was I muted for that? Sorry, My answer would be two of them. Uh, what's his name? S. Quinn. I forget his name. He's from Crystal. It's like Suicune, but like letters flipped around, if I remember my names right. But I think you would be very excited to meet a second Suicune. So. Here's our friend. Mask. So what's the sad mask do? Tiny attack. Opponent can't retreat. Sure. You may shuffle 3 energy from this Pokemon into the deck. If you do, snipe 120. Huh. Okay. A note about attacks like this. These can be incredibly powerful, especially like in water, because water here means that you have Baxcalibur ability to like pump out this energy, right? So shuffling 3 energy is going to be a lot like whatever of a cost if you're building it in that deck. The thing that makes this a very dangerous effect is the multi-prize taking. This can, if you can set it up with Torrential Pump, you might be able to take 2 to 3 prizes in a turn, with a knockout in the front and a knockout on the bench. There's a reason Manaphy hangs out on a lot of benches, because stopping those snipes is from like this or from Greninja very necessary. But very powerful. And it's a May too, so you don't have to. I think that's 3 masks now. Yo, it's just Zapdos. What are you doing here, Zapdos? Die. I guess you got the EX in the last setup, right? So we just like we have a open spot for a wow, 190 on that Thunderbolt. Oofa. Zapdos coming in hot. I like the power that this art has. Like the lightning strikes on this make Zapdos feel like yeah, Zapdos is here, the clouds part, the thunder comes down, and Zapdos has arrived. It's good. I think the birds should feel powerful. They should feel elemental. Now, this should feel like a friend. This should be like your buddy, like just having the greatest time climbing a hill, searching for berry. Curiosity, just show me your hand, please. That's very cute. Yeah, just a very adorable friend. I guess we'll have the full line here. So then Luxio. Ooh. Big bite. Chomp. I like how we've got Shinx climbing the hill, and we've got the Luxio who's like, you know, looking upon the land. Big bite with tiny chomp. Hello. Hi. Luxray got an EX. Oh boy, that's the biggie. Okay. What do you got for us? I love Luxray jumping out of frame, like breaking out here. Piercing Gaze. Look at your opponent's hand, discard a card. 120. Okay. Yeah. And then if you need damage you shall have. 250. That's a strong control piece. Like, if you're in a situation where you're like, okay, now, like, I'm able to piercing gaze and crush in, like, that can really harshly set back your opponent if they don't have, like, some sort of setup like a Beaverell. Maybe you knocked out the Beaverell with the piercing guys. Yeah, that's cool. Big, big cat. Oh, this is the happiest Emolga. Like, oh, this is charming. This is happy. This is beautiful. I love the small town in the background. I love the like Emolga kind of looking to kind of give you a hug. Uh, very cute. Uh, the dabs of color for the sky here. Yeah, what a friend. 10 damage to everything. Wait, I know that. Oh, this is everything including your side. Huh. What? What's this Emolga for? Okay. Now, here's a curious desert friend. Helioptile, is a neat desert friend. You can see. I really, again, I like our setting, but I also like the stark, like the kind of thick outlining of things. Both the cacti and the Helioptile, who has this like triangle. Very small attacks, but you're not going to be sticking on Helioptile for long, I assume, because what a like the very the light blue open sky and the ruins we have out here that are ruled by Heliolisk. Not big damage. Pretty sure there was a stand fight here. Yeah. Just when Heliolisk came in the Galar region, treasure came with them. Hi. Hi, Morpeko. What a cute looking buddy here. So this is Happy Morpeko, who has a ton of berries and fruit to choose from, so is not hangry. However, you will still sneak snack. Once per turn, look at the top card of your deck, discard it. Okay, cool. Morpeko gives you some card selection, or card quality. Maybe some mill if you want that. What a friendly Morpeko. Just pick and stick. Are they building the are they helping build the little hut, that little house there? Oh, also attach 2 basic from your discard. Wow, actually this is quite good. That's a nice attack. Thanks, Morpeko. Yeah, little buddy. Oh, I love Tadbulb. Ooh, I also like the lighting on this art a lot. The way that we have the very colorful look on the trees, and the kind of dark, like we have a lot of colors on both the rock and the tree here on the background of the Tadbulb. Tadbulb is not who you're here for. This is very much our stage 1 that doesn't have a lot going on to. A 10 and 20 attack. You're not playing Tadbulb for Tadbulb. Let's find out who you're playing Tadbulb for. Hey, Belly Bolt. Love a little belly bolt hanging out on a rock. Just a friendly guy, friendly pal, friendly little buddy. Just hanging out. That's belly bolt. Doesn't have a ton unique going on from belly bolt. We got a paralyzing attack and a kind of big attack. Yeah, that's fine. I think we've had a couple belly bolts over the last year or so. Belly bolt. Now I'm thinking about the more recent belly bolt you slack off and it just sort of falls asleep. Ooh, look at that nice bird. I like the winds on this. Good bird. Like, yeah, the art is explicitly why I'm here to take a look at things, because just Pokemon art in general hits so many different bits that I'm a big fan of. It's hard for me to look at a Pokemon art and be like, that ain't for me. I think there's been like 2 in here entire out of the like 75 we've looked at that I'm just like, all right, sure. What's our Wattrel friend? Okay, love the jump from like, look at this nice Wattrel and the nice, windy sky, and we got this colorful light background, and then the oncoming storm is here. Kill the Wattrel. Are you ready for death? Which also, this attack is pretty cool. During your next turn, attacks used by this Pokemon do 120 more damage. So if you want, you can stick on Wind Power Charge and then go like 10, 130, 130, 130, 130 or whatever. Or if you need to, you can go 10, 220. Use Strong Volt and just go whoosh. So, good bird. Great bird. Yeah, I love the charge effect is pretty cool. Yo, buddy. Iron Thorns EX, what you got? As long as this Pokemon is in the active zone, Pokemon with a rules box have no ability except future. Yo, it uses rules box terms. Damn. For a long time, we've had this thing in Pokemon where, like, we introduce EXs, and then we have cards that reference EXs, then we introduce GXs, and the cards that reference EXs don't work on them. And then we reference Vs, and then cards that reference GXs and EXs don't work on the Vs. And then, like, etc. So after a while, we did invent just saying rules box, which is this bit down here that says Pokemon EX rule. So anything with that, just like, that's our catch-all for now and future. Yeah, we did have the problem of all Ritual Fusion Synchro and Xyz monsters introduces links. Well, but we have this text. We don't use it always. There are times where we just say V and EX, or like it is a choice when they use this or not use this. This is powerful, by the way. This is incredibly powerful. Being able to blank abilities is always something that can be like, damn, that can shut down entire decks. I'm thinking of like, rules box. Oh, right, Radiant has the rules box that says you can only include one of in the deck, which isn't a prize thing, but it is a rule. Yeah. Oh, it's in play. Okay. So, yeah, this I see this and I think this seems powerful because I know like shutting off Mew EX or shutting off what is it, Genesect? Is that the one that just keeps going? Any of the setup searchers or things like that. Like a lot of things this works with, and not your own if you're using future. It's cool. Clefairy walking on the road. Where will they go? Clefairy walking down the road. What will they do? what will they do? Kick, apparently. Yeah, that's great. I love the jump from like, all right, Iron Thorns has got absolutely ass kicking, and the terrain in the background is breaking. That Clefairy walking next to the shrine. Oh, yeah, this is the shrine with the Momotaro companions. That's cute. We'll be seeing these later. As mentioned, the legendaries who are the Dawn brothers. We're gonna see a 2-foot dog and a 8-foot CG bird. And it's gonna be great, and we're gonna love it every time that they use the suit for the dog. Is this like Clefable with the power, like the power of the stars? Like we're not like the stars during the day. That's so good. So Metronome is what you're here for with Clefable. The sun. Who gave Clefable the sun? What do you mean it's the moon? What are you telling me that Clefable and Clefairy have something to do with the moon? I don't know. I don't. Mm. Either way, Metronome's what you're here for. That's fun. Yo, another Abra. Are we? Yeah. Are we doing another Alakazam line? So we had the Alakazam in 151 that had the bench snipe. How do you use Metronome? You don't have to match energy. You could just say like, okay, if my opponent is Iron Thorns, I could just be like, all right, it's Volt Cyclone time. Do the attack, do the effect. Beam. Beam. Is there a way to super efficiently blow somebody up with their own attack? The big things there would be like stuff like, where we have attacks that are just like really huge on their own that you're copying. Or if there's something that's like psychic weak and you get to hit it for 2 times damage. So, Metronome is coming from Clefable. So, because it's as this attack. So like you're still attacking with Metronome, but you're using whatever you're shooting. Beam. I do have to note, I really love that Beam here, that Abra is emulating the average Abra experience, where an Abra appears and then uses Teleport as its first move and you can't catch it. This is the accurate Abra, you know? Also Beam. Is Abradron sitting on a field more than any other Pokemon? I feel like Abra is just that's the normal, you know, that's where an Abra lives, is just in a field. I'd say Kadabra is drawn in certain positions more than others, but Kadabra's only had 2 cards in the last 20 years, so uh Kadabra doesn't have a distinct style yet. However, Psychic is a known quantity. Psychic is something that we get a lot. Psychic is you know, sometimes like is, you know, it's an energy. If your opponent's heavy on energy, it's a way to punish them for that. Yeah, okay. I am in love with this Alakazam art. We have the like psychic explosions, the 7 stars. Do you know the? Hold on. Do you know the Hotonoka? Like, uh-oh, we got the moon. We have the like red purple coloration of the trees. Uh, that's extremely cool. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. You may move any number of damage counters from your opponent's Pokemon to their other Pokemon in any way you like. Okay, that's wild. So this is a um sort of callback. Well, I guess not directly. Gengar was the one who had the opponents. But base Alakazam was able to flip your own damage however you wanted. Uh, and then Psychic is a even heavier energy Punisher. That's a cool way to like set up knockdowns or even like set up multi knockdowns at the same time. If your opponent has something that was heavily, you know, tanking, and then you just go zoop. That's cool. This art is cool as hell. Mugen Alakazam with the Toki moveset. Oh. I'm really enjoying the background on Girafarig here, where we have the this really fun color field, and then like the trees have their own life to them. Uh, Everything is filled in. We have the kind of dark void of like the trees that's filled in with the life of these flowers on it. Dual Headbutt does 10 damage to one of your bench Pokemon? Sure. You're probably not here for Girafarig if I had to guess, but it's still a fine enough basic as health. The force that dealing its Swashbuckler honoring you? That's right, it's Farigiraf. Yep, okay, I gotta turn on a different OST. Stage what? Wonderful Rumble does 40 damage for each of your stage 1 Pokemon in play. Okay, friend of stage 1s. Again, a unique setup for Farigiraf. I love like that Farigiraf is like, you know, got like a chain chomp mouth around the head. This is also a very good style. The dotted skies and trees. Yep. Celeste, you don't want to be that loud. Alright. Is Chimecho, like, drawing? That's the cutest thing in the world. Like, little drawing here. We got some Pokeballs. Maybe his friend of the whoever. No, that is a drawing of our buddy here. So there must be a kid and their friend. We're drawing our friend in the Pokeballs. Yeah, hanging out. I like the nice boombox we have here. That's good. That needs to come a little in on the window. That looks like it's a little too far out on the sill, maybe. But what a nice day. I thought for a moment it was our friend here who was drawing, but no, you can see the seating. This is great. I love this. One more chime. Shuffle one of your bench Pokemon in your deck. Okay, sure. The single distant palm trees. Flababy! The Flababy is here. Look at how tiny Flababy is. Like, I love this for being like the tiny, like, we have this one flower in the foreground, and 4 inches is the size of Flababy. It's the tiniest thing in the world. Flababy rides a red flower. It's nice. We have the world for Flababy to explore, the walls and the hills and the... Let's see, though, what... Floetta... Oh! Look at the world that Floetta is, running through here. More colorful berries await you. Ah, minor errand running. Okay. Our Floetta is on a mission, and the mission is to find 3 basic energies out in the world. Sure. That's a good friend. Look, berries are like an energy. Thanks. But here's our end line, Florges. Once during your turn, flip a coin. If heads, switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active, and the new active Pokemon is confused. Oof. Okay. You don't even need to be in the active to be using this. Stage 2, so that's like an ask, but... yeah. Like, pull in and a confusion. The confusion's like the more minor thing. What this really is about is the, like, force in a swap, which is powerful. Here we've got a more, like, realistic, like, autumn field, rather than our more colored berry field here. Less of a journey and more, at the destination, I suppose. Oh. It's another festival lead. This one's the cotton candy friend. These are all the things you would find at the festival. Please do not eat the Swirlix. The Swirlix loves the cotton candy, though. It's delicious. So you get to double attack with this if you got the festival grounds. As we've seen, this is kind of like a setup. The festival friends deck. This one just has a tiny snipe. Which is fine. It's a basic. It can do a tiny snipe once or twice. Wonder what other Pokemon have the festival grounds effect. Maybe we'll find more of them. That'd be nice if we did. Love the lights. And of course the bags of cotton candy. Slurpuff at the candy store, what will they buy? Slurpuff at the candy store. Eating up the pie. Slurp, slurp. Cake piece missing. This is nice. So this is like, flip for 90 or 180, and on a miss, you still get something. So you're not like, you're not full missing on a miss, like, which is fine if you have something like that. So I like it. Upgrade. It even has like, we have our little stool standing on in the candy store. Would like a treat, please. Oh my god. This is incredible. So a different artist than our previous friend who exists in reality. We have a like handcrafted Sandagast with like the paper background. You can see the paper clouds and the tipped over bucket. Beautiful. Holy smokes. Like, you get the little hole in the crochet there. You can see that's so good. During your opponent's next turn, sand attack, they have to flip a coin on tails, they don't get the attack. Oh, they have a number of cards like this. Okay, that rules. I'm glad that this is an artist who does this, like, on the regular. It's very powerful. Now this is like we have the palisand at sunset, like the wide angle on this that gives us the skies, the eyeballs in the ear, and we still have this is great too. More of a menace to it. Funny thing, almost same attacks. Sand attack, spooky shot, sand attack, spooky sand. Like, it's just bigger, you have more attack, more damage, more health to it. Yeah, I think I like the angle on this and the like wide horizon that has this bend to it. That's really good. The love-hate Pokemon. Love. We got the heart. Many hearts. We got heart sign. Love resonance. If any of your Pokemon in play are the same type as any of your opponent's Pokemon in play, this attack does 120 more damage. Okay. So, oh, is this in the same as like Landorus? Oh yeah, I guess the naming convention would make that like apparent. This is a funny attack. Alright. Ah! Scream tail. I love this art. I love the like, we have this like vibration in the back that gives this power. Then our first attack, Scream. You can use this attack only if you go second, and only on your first turn. Your opponent can't play supporters next. Okay. So this is a turn one attack you're just using to disrupt. And then really you're here for crunch to keep them off of energy on their active and kind of push them down. I, deliberately showing how its feet are not Jigglypuffs. Screamtail. Screamtail's like one of the funniest of the ancients. Just like Jigglypuff with like bigger hair. Monkey Dory. Okay. So yeah, this is as I described. This is one of the Momotaro's aligned Pokemon. Because we've had the Ogerpon, and then we're gonna have the group of Pokemon opposed to the Ogerpon. That'll be the monkey, the bird, and the dog. I don't know if we get the Peach one here. Adrenabrain. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has any dark energy attached to it, you can move 3 damage from one of your Pokemon to your Whoa! Hello! That's a unique and cool ability. 3 damage counters for free once per turn. Like, you need to have a dark energy attached to this, so you have to use at least one of your energy attachments, but... Huh. In Dawn Brothers, this is the blue, who's the big monkey, who is a like jobless philosopher. Messed up idea of 4 of these on the bench. This is yeah. If you could have 4 of these, it'd be really powerful to push that much damage off. Yeah, like you have a Blissey in your front, and then keep pushing the damage off of like who's ever in the active and healing them up. Like they have to break through that line. That's pretty powerful. I like that idea. Pheasant. Pheasantipity. If this Pokemon has any dark energy and is attached and is damaged by attack, flip a coins if heads prevent that damage. And then loves to count how much energy is attached to this Pokemon, including maybe the dark you put on and the one psychic. This is the bird that I was talking about that joins with our Momotaros. Momotaro. In Dawn Brothers, the pink, he's like 8 or 9 feet tall and has like a CG suit most of the time. He's a very overzealous wife guy. Loves his wife, maybe a bit too much. These are all retainers, yeah. What if the third one's psychic? I don't know if... No, the third one is a beautiful Sandshrew who is digging in the ground. This is not the third of our Momotaro friends. However, I would like to point out the background Sandshrew. This is actually my favorite part here. Look at that. We have a Morph Ball Sandshrew. Mouse. Ooh, okay. And then we have the very active Sandslash doing the dig through. Earthquake's quite cheap. 120 and then 10 to your bench. This is a common thing for Earthquake. We see this on a number of like these style of attacks. Very actively like the active movement on Sandslash here. Yo! Peacewind Growlithe, how you doing? Love the jump that they're doing. Big jump, big hop. This attack is free. If you're wondering what this bubble means, it means 0. So. I do love that this Growlithe looks like they've done a video game hop. Because all of their legs are they can't change the motion of their jump once they've gone into the jump. It's just not possible. They commit. Whew. This is a powerful art. I like that the Hisuian Growlithe art coloration matches a lot of the background here too, so it feels like it's a big part of this active like volcano going on here. Also, another free attack. You don't have to play Fighting Energy in the deck that uses this. If your bench Pokemon have any damage counters, it does 120 for nothing. All you have to do is have somebody who like either self damages, which we've seen, we saw that in 151, or somebody who takes a hit and then sits in the back. Really like the like mountain that we're kind of like we got the clouds and kind of this explosion out of. Good to see you too, Nosepass. Is that a truck? Yeah. Truck pulling up to the temple here. Nosepass has a fun look. Yeah, fun shape. The blues against the nice flower colorations. Oh, this is also DLC location. Sure. This whole set has the theme of that, so that makes a lot of sense. I think this might be my favorite we've come across. This is so good. Like the little buddies, the kind of like angle we're looking at, where we have like this very puzzle game Pro Pass. You got this very marble area, hanging out deep in Marble Hill. I love this. Also love Pro Pass having the little iron filling mustache. If your opponent's active Pokemon has a tool, okay, just laser. Where does the beam come out of? Is it the nose? Is it the head? Is it the mustache? Is it the eyes? Is it the little buddies? Do they have the beam? Who's got the beam? Yeah, I think the little... It opens a mouth you can't see. Love this. Triangle with the little guys. The Kikoho. Perfect. What a perfect buddy who's helping. They are walking down the street. They've got the big old... they got the timber. They are the timber. They have the log ready to move. They're bringing it over. They do the best punch. It's true. It says it right there. Like, again, this is like a small city. Motion looks like he just knocked this tree in the background. It does look like it's swinging. swinging a log. Just spinning. I mean, it says it swings a piece of lumber around. Well. Oh, yeah! Oh. Oh, I really love the clouded lighting in the background of the shadows here. The shadowy ramparts. Yeah. Girder. This Pokemon is so muscular and strongly built that even a group of wrestlers could not make it budge an inch. Immobile. You cannot move the Girder, who's carrying a beam. Fine, these are attacks. They're illegally attacks that do attacks. Conkeldurr is like... Whoa, hold on. Oh. Oh my. If you're looking at Conkeldurr, that's great. This art is strong with the Conkeldurr looking directly at you. I want you to read Gutsy Swing and start thinking. If this Pokemon has any special condition, ignore the energy cost of this attack. You are about to, like, the moment, yeah, Toxic Orb, Flame Orb, Conkeldurr is here for crushing you. That's very cool. That immediately, like, suggests ideas. Also, you know, our good buddy moving concrete pillars. Yeah, if with its own stuff, it can go tantrum into confusion and then use the confusion to do this for free, but then it has to flip a coin for it. So, like, it works on its own like that, but if you can set up, like, poison, then you're talking. Conkeldurr's pretty cool. Oh, we found him! Oh my god. Greninja jump scare. So, Greninja, I said, is a Pokemon that's been pretty powerful over the years. That Shinobi Blade there? That's an attack and a half. 170 is enough damage to knock anything out in 2 hits. Like, unless unless there's some extenuating circumstances healing something. That's 340 is like basically what you're seeing as max. Because this is a stage 2 EXs get to do just wild stuff. And then Mirage Barrage. Mirage Barrage is our snipe. This is similar to the snipe that Greninja Radiant has. A little more damaging. But like, that's... The search on here is very cool. You can find more setup, you can find more things, and also, you know, if you don't have the normal water weakness that you're in, so... Yeah, you can't run from Greninja. That's cool. Tutors in Pokemon are never guaranteed, like, on attacks like this, because, like, your opponent might play Iono or might play Judge afterwards to, like, make you shuffle your hand away. That said, they still have to deal with the fact that there's a 170 attacker that only has 1 energy requirement in the active, so... Power. That's cool. Oh yeah! The Hawlucha at night. I am the night. We found the wrestlers who were trying to knock down the Girder. Why are its muscles so defined? That's a good question. They are, though. Like, this is a beefy Hawlucha. Prize count, you having more prizes means you're losing. That's true. This Holucha perhaps has the strength of 10 athletes. But yeah, so if you're losing, this does 140. Very small. Muscle bird. Another Glimmet! You might remember I have a deck that uses Glamora as a silly coin flip gimmick where we use Glamora to poison our opponents and then flip coins to see if prizes get given up. The deck doesn't work as well as it did because one of the supporters that made the deck function rotated, but it still works. Glimmet is one of the later Pokemon you find in Scarvi, in the sense that, like, it's like one of the powerful ones that the champion has. This is a very puffy Glamora. Like these like feathers are very like puffed up next to it a little more than I feel. Stun poison, paralyzed poison, and if your opponent's practice poison, 130. Okay. Not as impressed with this one as I am with the other Glamoras, but I can see the plan on this Glamora, and the paralyze is pretty good. 1 second, gonna again refresh a drink, but before I do, meet a new friend. You know, these Ruinous Pokemon really don't like stadiums. Like, wasn't this also on the other one of the Ruined Pokemon? Like, they had a stadium disliker? This is pretty nice, though. It hits everything for 30. Yo, the art on here is kind of wild. With the, like, the sea that we're, you know, we see these, like, splashes here in the bowl. Rescue dogs that brings hot soup. Yeah, definitely in the storm here. Hammer! Okie dokie. So I mentioned that there was a monkey, that there was a bird, and a dog. This is the dog. What the hell? Damn. Dark energy makes this, like, ridiculous. That's the power of darkness. Also, ain't got nothing on Timber. We got... It's fine. Punch is okay. It's, like, good. In Dawn Brothers, the dog, like 2-foot black dog who is also CG, but sometimes they do have a stand-in suit that just doesn't move, and it's very funny. Okay, Punch. Damn. 170 on this, though, is really good. This is actually a pretty strong... Like, if you have a dark energy on this, this is a basic with 230 HP that doesn't give up an extra prize. And also hits for 170 for 3 energy. That's fine. I wonder if there's multi-color energy that makes this more powerful. Dark plus fighting. Yo, it's a mask! Cornerstone mask. Prevent all damage from all attacks to this Pokemon by... Oh! Prevent all damage attacks to the, done to this Pokemon by opponents that have an ability. That can block a lot. That's not gonna, like, stuff a whole deck. But, like... You know... Funnily enough, the attack we have is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So it also pierces. That's funny. So this pierces Mimikyu then, right? Yeah. I would not be surprised if Ogerpon had a number of alt arts at the end that we get to see too. This is our main Pokemon in the set, you know. It is the Indigo Mask. Indigo Disc, Teal Mask or Teal? Yeah, Teal Mask. Sorry, Indigo Disc, Teal Mask. Other way around. But what if? But what if Dog? What if a beautiful dog, just a small dog hanging out at the festival? Looks a little like bigger. Looks like we've stamped this dog in place. Didn't kill anything. You just got to win the coins. Yeah. This generation has a number of dogs. A good number of them. So Poochyena fits right in. Almost a Paper Mario dog. Yeah, very like stamped into place, I feel, because of the white outline on it on our dog here. Now this is the a strange angle on our dog because it shows us like the dog bald spot. That's weird. We don't need to show that lady on a... Oh, this is dog that wants more dogs. I see. Dog combo. If you have an extra dog around, you get 120 out of the dog attack. 120 is a number we kind of see as like a baseline. It 2 hits most things, it 3 hits EXs. Or like 2-stage EXs. Can't retreat. Venipede and Sizzlepede are similar species, but when the two meet... these are a very, like, distinct style of background that we get on a couple of these. This reminds me of... I wouldn't be surprised if this was the same artist as the ghastly Haunter Gengar. Because that's sort of the feel we get this. Because we have the background that has, like, the reflected skies, and we have the walkway, and like the night flowers, and we're in a tree here because we have the night walkway here, and here's our tree. I thought it was jumping in front of a cheering crowd. The crowd is cheering for Venipede too. Okay, this is the same artist as that ghastly Haunter Gengar that follows. That P do be whirling. That's true. That is exactly what we're doing. That I like the speed we have here with the, like, determined eye on the side. Not as impressed with the attacks, but they're okay. I assume we're not here for Whirlipede. But we're here to enjoy Whirlipede. We're here to say hi to Whirlipede as Whirlipede goes zoom and goes by at a top speed of 60 miles per hour. This art has a good sense of speed with the movement of the ground. It looks like we are whirling. All right. Show me what's up, Scolipede. I understand what the setup with Scolipede is now. Very stout, very large. Put damage on your opponent's active until it is at 10. And if, for instance, perhaps it were poisoned from some other effect. The Megapede Pokemon. Has like a menacing poison cloud around it. It looks like very, like, tired. That's a nice combo in itself, though. Brute Bonnet. What if the imposter were here? So 120 poison. Does 50 damage plus 50 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if your opponent has 3 damage counters, this hits for 200. Am I reading that right? Yeah, you are dead as hell. Okay. It's a lot of energy. That's triple dark. But Brute Bonnet will take an injured opponent and put them into the presser with the evil Pokeball. The spiky Pokeball. No, Dark isn't special. It used to be, like way back in the day, but it's just another type. The reason I say triple Dark is just like, when we look at a lot of these, we see like Dark +2, or like fighting 1. Like, seeing 3 or 4 of a same setup means that you can only include it in a single type deck. There's no way you're including this in a deck that, like, is multi-typed and getting it off on a reasonable way. So it's a more of a restriction. So. Whew, this is a good friend. Skarmory. Adjust that down a little. There we go. Skarmory is a classic. And, like, this is like action Skarmory. This is like Skarmory flying at high speeds in the big storm in the cutting wind. This is like action Skarmory. Good bird. Yeah, when Steel and Dark were introduced in 2nd generation, they were special. There were no basic Steel or basic Dark energy, which made them awkward. Powerful, though, too. The littlest of friend. This is just very tiny Aron. Aaron is here. They're very focused. What are they very focused on? The tree? Something has their attention. Let's learn. What does the Iron Armor Pokemon learn? Oh, I love this. Oh. I love, like, the distant colored mountains. Both sides, the shadowed and lightened ones. Where's my life-size Iron plush that was hard, weighs 130 pounds? Oh no. Where's your life-size, Nebby? Cosmog? My, like, 1 foot 2 inch plush that's 999 pounds or whatever Nebby weighs. Larian. You could make it plushy, but it would probably be a statue. Yo, the action Aggron here. Looks like we're seeing Aggron right in the, you can see the claws. Like, we're Aggron being pushed back here. This attack does 50 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon that has damage on it. Okay. So Aggron, wait. I found the answer. Aggron's best friend. Aggron and Emolga, best friends. There gotta be better ways to do that, but minus 50 on attacks too is pretty nice. 120 minus 50. You're in stage 2, so you're probably expecting a little better than that for 3 energy, but this is what you have your build around is the first one. I like the action stage that Aggron's in, like being pushed back and a little scuffed up, but they have the guard claw, so they're okay. Ooh, yeah, Heatran. Okay. Incandescent body. Wow, Heatran has 140 on a basic. Also, I love the fire on this. This feels like a Heatran in a molten, like, rampage. If this Pokemon's an active spot and damaged by attack, burn it. Okay, just burn whoever touches this. You get burned on the map. Like, you come anywhere near Heatran, ah. And then we have... Okay, so you don't get to choose how many. You have to discard all, but you do 50. That's okay. That's one of those things that, like, if you have a way to push out energy in a faster way, it would be nice. But that's, like, hard to control. I don't like that I'm not the hugest fan of the fact that it like, it's not like choose X, but the Heatran is uncontrollable flame, you know? This is the uncontrollable switch. You touch this, you get burned. Foily. Varoom in the city. Varoom in the city. It's weird seeing the, like, rock wheels that actually look rock here. Alright. Vroom just chugging along in the city. We saw a Reveroom before. That was pretty cool. It could have 4 tools on it, and that was what made it a unique thing. Wonder what we have for Reveroom here. Like the action Reveroom? I've never thought of a Reveroom this, like just causing this much. Also, the weird dog tongue. Oh, is Reveroom a big dog? I think Reveroom's a big dog. I never noticed it. Like, that's a nose. If you turn Reveroom upside down, you get a big dog. Big dog ears. I'm learning a lot about Reveroom right now. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage in an attack last turn, this attack does 90 more damage. Sure, so this is a Revenge 120. And then you have... Can defeat anything but on 1,000. Or, sorry, on 100. Rev up the engine, just get 3 heads. You're fine. Better odds than than Poochyena. This too is dog. I mean, as we saw, Poochyena's attack was the same as this but smaller, so this must be big dog. Wait, second Applin? Look at the, like, the cutout, the apple cutout in the back that the Applin's sort of standing in front of. Find a friend. So this is a dragon type Applin. Dragon types get dual attacks, and they're generally the same based on the line. So we saw, like, Dratini had water lightning across its lines. Applin then will be fire grass across its lines. I didn't know we had a second Applin. That's nice. Applin's cool. Driplin. The, like, face, the eyes, and then it has, like, the, like, this is its little mouth. It's going like, hanging out at you. That's very cute for Diplin. Yo! Diplin is not messing around either. Pull in a Pokemon, hit for 70. I want to say that's just a knockout on Manaphy? Is Manaphy 70? Okay. Good play, good amount to be sniping. Also, just a good face. I love the face, the three. It's Dreepy! So we saw Dreepy in a deck earlier, and we've been, you know, Dragapult is a known cool Pokemon in this set. We'll take a cooler look at Dreepy. Please enjoy the Dreepy that is hanging out in the storm. This is a happy Dreepy, just enjoying the storm. Does not mind at all getting wet out there. Also has some pretty decent attacks. 40 damage on 2 energy for this basic. That's 70 on a basic, too. Dracloak. Looking after the Dreepy. Ooh! This is one of those stage ones that has a cool ability that makes you might want one on the side here. Once during your turn, top 2, 1 in hand, 1 on bottom. With a 70 attack. Psychic Fire. Okay. Yeah, nice to have. That's a good way to keep getting through your deck. It doesn't discard, which is could be a good or bad thing. Yeah. So Dragapult, which has the Dreepies. And the Crystal Dreepy. The big thing that Dragapult has is 1,000,000 damage. Phantom Dive hits hard. Like, 200 is just time to hit hard. And then, like, 6 damage on the bench means that you can snipe. We talked about earlier multi-knockouts. We talked about earlier, like, you know, bug-fixing damage. That extra 6 can mean a lot. Muppet-looking dragon. Yeah, there's a reason we got this as a deck for this set, in this set. No weakness, dragons, so. Also cheap retreat. Very cheap. So. Alright, I think with dragons... Wait, we're not done with dragons? Oh my god. Tatsugiri. What are you doing, Tatsugiri? Hanging out on the... Attract customers. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active, top 6, reveal a supporter, so you go find a customer. Help. Help. Tatsugiri is an extremely cunning Pokemon. It feigns weakness to lure in prey, then orders its partner to attack. Ah! Its partner, Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd, Farfetch'd. Does not look like we have a Hydraplin or what's the pie one? What are the two? There's the pie one and the flying one, and we just have Dripplin because Dripplin is DLC. You can see it's over 1,000 number, so. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, search for a Pokemon tool and attach it to this. That's curious. I'm just a little guy. It's my birthday Pokemon. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, so because this set also has a little bit more, like there's some more stuff we're gonna see in later sets for Disc. I wonder if we'll see Mochi on its own. I don't know. Anyway, hi Farfetch'd. Yo, okay. Want to appreciate this art for the Farfetch'd because this is like the surprised Farfetch'd who has been caught stealing from like a field, and like we have the like square dirt that's being brought up, and like this is cute. What a good Farfetch'd here. The feet completely off guard. Oh, the happiest Chansey egg Pokemon. What a wonderful field. What a wonderful look. What a wonderful Chansey. Graceful. Do we have a Blissey? The Blissey is ready for combat. Damn. Blissey EX is not messing around. Blissey EX is ready to fight with 300 HP on stage 1. That's about 60 more than you get there. Once during your turn, you can move a basic energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. Cool. So you can use the energy attach on Chansey. You can use that, and then return is also big money. This is also like pretty damn good. It was mentioned a deck with like Blissey and then sitting back and like moving the damage off the Blissey to your opponent's Pokemon too because it's so big. 300 is like knocking this out in one hit is difficult. Doable under some circumstances, but difficult. Very difficult. 6 energy off of a Chanpao. Yeah. Big. I really love the like, relax in a field and ready for combat. Action egg. Oh my god. Eevees are beautiful. Very, very cute, lovely Eevee. Just hanging out in the garden. Eevees tend to have ways to evolve into whatever they feel like. We saw Glaceon and Leafeon in this set. And obviously we had 151 a couple sets ago, so we have Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon around there. You don't want to be using Quick Attack. But you do get to evolve on turn 1 if you're on the second. You can like Toolbox Eevee. Hi Snorlax. How are you doing? Snorlax is out in front of just out in the parking lot. But first, food. Is Snorlax like a correspondent on the news? But first, breaking news. I have food. That's cute. Heal off. Maybe set up for the heavy impact. A lot of HP. That's like a lot of HP for a basic. That's so cute. Apom just kind of holding their tail. Hanging out in the trees. Having a good time. Just a wonderful, wonderful Apoms up in the tree, hanging around. Terrifying Ambipoms. You, it's like hands coming out of the art, going to get you. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve during your turn, you can flip 2 coins. For each heads, choose a random card from your opponent's hand, reveal and shuffle them into your deck. Huh. Just the jump from like Ambipom, like just it's the hand coming to grab you. Just jump, jump. I'm gonna steal some cards. So you evolve up to Ambipom, you might be able to just crunch out a hand, which can be very powerful if your opponent doesn't have, like, so one of the things that a lot of decks want to do is set up a Pokemon on the bench that has some sort of card draw, as well as, like, whatever their engine is. But, like, if they don't have anything like that, you set something up like this, like, him to Turok, alright, sweet, I'm in. This is why we're here today. It's for Ducklet. We're here to appreciate Ducklet. Ducklet is here, hanging out in this pond. We have the beautiful Magikarp statue in the fountain. Like, Ducklet looking directly at you. Just perfect. Duck of greed. Yeah, that's yeah. That's just a good duck. Ooh, okay. And Swanna here, we have much more of we have this overhead view in the lily pad pond. It's a mole drifter. Ducklet is a mole drifter. Okay, so Swanna here is here to fight EXs. 110? Eh. 1 energy, 110 to an EX is a lot, but, like, you might not be standing for long against that. Swanna will try, though. Swanna will crush you. I like the powerful sparkles in the lilies here. Lily pads, huh? Oh, God! Hello? The Blood Moon Ursaluna. Hello? Blood Moon used by this Pokemon costs 1 less for each prize your opponent has taken. If your opponent's on 1 prize, this is free. This is also a 260 basic EX. I understand. So, late game, if your opponent's on 2 prizes, you could just be like, all right, here's the Haymaker, here's the Game Breaker, here's the Return Maker. It's Blood Moon Ursaluna. The bear is here for killing, and it's here to kill you. Like, you know, your opponent's on 2 prizes, this costs 1 energy. Like, the king of all comeback bears. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that's powerful. There's a Charizard that works similarly. That I use. Radiant Charizard has a similar setup. So, that's cool. Oh, we're out. If you're just posting the other arts, we'll get to them. So, no worries there. But that's quite literally the entire point of what we're doing here. Like, we're yeah, there are some more cards down here. Yeah, don't worry about it. Like, we that is literally the entire point of this stream. You don't need to snipe me. We're good. What on earth are we doing? Oh my. Reveal the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. Choose any number of basics and put them on your opponent's bench. Okay. So the reason you want something like this, the reason you play something like this, is to set up things you are sniping. We've seen decks that really want like opponent like deal damage to multiple Pokemon on opponent's benches, or like swap something. Like, this is a card you might want to play with Diplin, for instance, because you pull in a basic and then Diplin just goes chomp and kills it, and that's that might be your major plan. Yeah, or maybe your opponent needs those slots for anything else. So, yeah, we're finally in trainers. We're gonna be meeting some characters I'm not terribly familiar with. I'm sure. Bug catching set. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You can reveal up to 2 in any combination of grass, Pokemon, or energy you find there. Wow. No, this is fine. This is like Great Ball plus plus for grass. This is an item, not a supporter. Sure. What is happening? Hold on. Caretaker. Draw 2 cards. All right. If you drew any cards this way, and if Community Center is in play, shuffle this Caretaker into your deck instead of discarding it. That, if Community Center is in play and not Chance, this is sadly way below the line unless Community Center does something really specific. The baseline I think of as a supporter is still draw 3 cards, no text. That's like your best friend, your rival. Oh, Carmine. Yo, okay. So Carmine here is a weaker Oak, weaker Professor. But normally you can't play supporters on turn 1. So Carmine is here to let you actually have like a forward progress draw on turn 1 where maybe you would have nothing else. You know, you can't play any other supporter. But you can play this on any turn, and this is, so, you know, you might wonder why I scoff at draw 2 cards. It's because I can draw 5, right? Even if this is turn 1, like, this is still draw 5. You know, discard your hand, but maybe that's good, maybe it's not. I don't know, you built the deck. You tell me. Very cool, though. Here's the Community Center. Once during each player's turn, if they played a supporter from their hand, they can heal 10 from each of their... Is Pokemon still a draw through your deck by turn 5 game? Yes. In the, like I've been playing, you know, a couple games, like games off with my, like, Chien-Pao deck, and it's still, like, turn 4 or 5 comes around and both players are like 25 to 20 cards in deck. Like, everyone has gone through their deck, like, huge amounts. Everybody has that. This is nothing. Well, Okay, then. Yup, this is nothing. Sorry, caretaker. Okay. Now, the cook here I can get behind. This is like... I want to say Pokemon Center Lady was 60 and remove conditions as a supporter. This cook is giving you... I actually kind of want this sandwich. That looks fine. I like the egg. Like the egg is yeah, sure. This is fine. 70's still a low amount, but like it depends on. You have to have a deck that is like doing something specific where like you're again stalling for some reason to want this, especially if it doesn't remove special conditions. This isn't a card you include for in a deck like at random. You need a reason to play this. Hammer! Yo, enhanced hammer. This one's a reprint from memory. This used to be really strong. Though the era that this was really strong in, every type had a special energy. It hits a special, but like back in the era where this was strong, every single type had a special energy, and basically most decks played 4 of that special energy. Not all of them, but like the fighting energy you played 4 of, the steel energy you played 4 of, the psychic energy you played 4 of, things like that. The dark energy I think you played 4 of. So like this had a lot more targets. I don't know about these days. It all depends on what energy stuff looks like. Crushing hammer is flip a coin to hit a energy. This is just discard a special. And here it has a little energy on it. Each Pokemon that has any energy attached. Yeah, because like special fighting was plus 20 to your attack. Special steel was like damage reduction. Special psychic was if you got hit, you reflected damage. And then... So, okay. So this is actually a really smart counterplay. Because it's not a hard counter because of how stadiums work. You can... There can only be a stadium in play. When you play one, you overwrite the old one. So, like, this is a really strong counter to, you know, if you're playing Conkeldurr or if you're playing Scolipede, anything that cares about those conditions, this is a really good counter to it. But it has the back and forth draw of, like, okay, then I need to include a couple stadiums to know I need to get rid of the grounds if something is coming up. That's pretty good. It's very silly to me that items are just like random junk you put in your pocket. If the Pokemon this is attached to is in the active spot, is damaged by an attack, move an energy from the attacking Pokemon to one of your opponent's bench. Oh. Huh. Okay, so if they attack into the fan, you get to gust one of the not gust a win, but you get to push one of the energy off of the attacker onto like Manaphy or whoever on the bench. You just get it. You know what? Go away. Hey, Lord Cynic, thanks for the raid. Yo, Hassel. Oh my god, look at Hassel's, so, this, like, Hassel's, all the art. Oh my god. Hassel's one of our, Elite Four. My god. And on top of being in the Elite Four, as you can see by our pictures in the background, also has the art classes, yes. I love, look at this happy Ditto. The Raichu with the eyes. Doing Dark Souls 2 blind. Hope you're feeling, oh dear. Hope you feel better soon. Hopefully you can enjoy some, Fanfy and Eevee. You use this if you got knocked out. Top 8, pick 3. Oof. Okay. I think there might be... actually, no. The other card I'm thinking of that was a Revenge knockout might have rotated. So. What a good ditto. Yo, Ace Specs, new Ace Specs. Okay. So Ace Specs have this really magenta card art. You can only play one Ace Spec at all in your deck. They have these very specific card, like, these are made to look incredibly different because you only get one total ever, like, in your deck. So you can only play one copy of this and you can't play any other cards that are Ace Specs. So they're very powerful. Search your deck for up to 3 Stage 1 Pokemon and put them in your hand. So this is like super set up for a turn, for like you know, we had that Varigarath earlier that wanted a bunch of Stage 1s. This is triple search. Yeah, 1 card, 3 tutors. So like if you have a deck that has a lot of Stage 1s going on, this might be your Ace Spec. So. Jamming Tower. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, Pokemon tools don't do anything. This is another... Stadiums tend to have this sort of style where they can be like kind of deck counters. We saw earlier with the festival grounds where it's like, okay, if something gets a little bit too much, you have the stadium you include. It's not a hard counter because they can bop it off, but it certainly helps. Kieran, who has the same hair. Choose one. Yeah, that, like, younger brother makes sense. That's I got a quick rundown on the Pokemon. I did not play Teal Mask or Indigo Disc yet, so I don't know the characters within them. Switch your active Pokemon on your bench. Okay, so this can be a switch, or attacks used by your Pokemon do 30 more damage to an EX or V. Okay. 2 not too huge. I mean, the plus power is actually kind of nice. That can hit some new, like, change math. The switch, this is something you can just do with, like, a card usually. So, like, that's not super appealing. Still. But the fact that the thing is it's a choice, it's both on one card, so. Anyway. Thanks for helping out, Kieran. I'm glad you've got multiple modes. Multiple modes does make for a stronger effect. Oh, hey, Lana. Lana's here from Sun Moon. Put 3 of any combination of Pokemon that don't have a rules box and basic energy cards. You're just gonna pile it in your hand. Oh! This picks up 3 cards from either Pokemon without a rules box or basic and basic energy. Wait, this fixes my Glamora deck. My Glamora deck's back, yes! So within Pokemon TCG, the fishing rods, fishing rods are like recovery tools. Like usually it's like shuffle 3 in your deck. Without a rules box, so without a rules box means, so here's a Pokemon. It's just normal ass Pokemon. Pokemon that have these, like, really special bits, EXs and Vs, that down here in the bottom have a rule that says when it's knocked out, your opponent takes 2 prizes. These are rules box Pokemon. So Lana does not recur the EXs or Vs or whatnot. So you can only recur non-rules box. Thanks, Lana. I'm glad you're here for helping. Watch your, don't know your sandal. Oh, their love ball. Oh, boy. Search your deck for a Pokemon with the same name as one of your opponent's Pokemon in play. Reveal it and put it in your hand. This is the mirror ball. Huh. I... Hmm. I don't know that I would be including this. If the world exists where this is playable, I think the game's in a weird state because there aren't enough decks that are viable, right? Like, if... Like, there are a number of Pokemon that, like, you know, I can think of generic bench ones. Manaphy, Bidoof, Bibarel, Mew EX, things like that you might be able to find on different benches. Radiant Greninja. But it's only targeting that stuff. If this is good because generic Pokemon are good, then it's fine. If this is good because everyone's playing, you know, Charizard, maybe not. Yo, Lucian, what are you doing here? Hello. Lucian's here from, oh god, Gen 4? Elite 4? I think it's Gen 4. Go back to Love Ball for a sec. Search your deck for a Pokemon with the same name as one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's got the nice heart. Yes, bench is in play. What we're seeing is there weren't enough NPCs in Teal Mass, so we have airdrops some. Nah, well, no, this is actually like... I'm gonna pull up another set just to, like, show this. This is just sort of a thing. Like, if I go into... I remember it was Obsidian Flames that just has, like... Was it Obsidian Flames or was it another... Where are you at? No, it wasn't Obsidian Flames. What was the one that has a freaking, I think, like, Falconer's just here for some reason? Rika, Tura, Rogue. Chantal, just here. Hey, how you doing? We just get to use older characters. Yeah, Norman. Hey, Norman. How you doing? My name's Norman. I'm just here, having a good time. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes we just get to recur old characters. Yeah. Sometimes Lucian's back. Why? None can really say, but we get to enjoy it all the while. Falconers and Paldea. Okay, yeah. And I was on... Each player shuffles their hand, bottom of deck. If either player puts cards on the bottom, each player flips a coin on heads 6, on tails 3. You're feeling lucky, Lucian says. Okay. Damn. Lucky Helmet. This is a reprint, too. Pretty sure we've said Lucky Helmet a number of times. If this card is attached, damage from an attack, draw 2 cards. I remember this in, like, the XY starter decks. When you did theme deck mode, Lucky Helmet was one of the only tools you had that you put on, like, your active. You put it on your, like, Scraft tree. Ogre Mask, this lets you swap out your Ogre Pawns. And as we kind of saw, like, Earth Ogre Pawn is like a Silver Bullet-ish, whereas Grass Ogre Pawn is like pushing forward for energy. So I don't know that you're doing too much with that. It seems like the Grass one's the best one, but you might swap out if you need to. Hi, who are you? Perrin. Yo! What's with the sign? Is that like angry Poliwag? Sad Poliwag? What have you done to Poliwag? No Poliwags allowed? Also, this sign's like 10 feet tall. Perrin. Reveal up to 2 Pokemon in your hand and put them in your deck. If you do, search your deck for that many Pokemon. Oh, it's the bus stop. Okay. Poliwag. So this is a double Pokemon Communicator. Pokemon Communicator was a search card in a couple different formats where you reveal the Pokemon, put it in your deck, and then swapped it for another Pokemon. And this lets you do 2 searches. Okay. I'm also assuming, just for my lack of knowledge of who this must be a DLC character. Cool photographer. Oh, hey. How's it going, right for it? Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, discard any number of them. Pairing gives you the quest to find Blood Moon or Saluna. Okay. Right for it here. I like that we've got like this like bird amulet for we've got a lot of different like this is a Marshadow in the hair. But yeah, having a good time. Isn't that Taiyam scheming? It is. That has more power here because you have passive ways of drawing cards. Like if you had a Bibarel in play, you could like discard the top 3 you don't like and then choose to use it to draw 2 or 3. Might not be the strongest choice as a supporter though. There are a lot of other things to be doing. Scoop up Cyclone. Whoa, okay. Sure. Yeah, the ancient supporter does like does a better job of the discarding as well. So this is another A spec, and this is one that like is quite powerful. You can pick up a Pokemon as an item, so not using your supporter, and picking up a Pokemon to replay it for its ability or to dodge damage, or there are a lot of reasons you would do this and have it be something that's restricted as an action. There's a reason that like AZ and Acerola and Professor Turo are all supporters that do this, and they're all like still pretty reasonable cards. So. Secret Box. You can only use this card if you discard 3 other cards from your hand. Search your deck for an item, a tool, a supporter, and a stadium. Reveal them and put them in your hand. Huh. That's very cute. So you play this and discard 3 others, so 4 cards, and you get 4 tutors for an item, a tool, a supporter, and a stadium. You would have to deck build in a way that you have a stadium you want, you have a tool you want, you're gonna have a supporter, you're gonna have an item. Like, as long as you have ways to do that, this is like, this is the loot crate. This has a golden common inside of it. Yeah! Survival Brace. If the Pokemon this card is attached to has full HP and would be knocked out by an attack, it is not knocked out, go to 10. Then discard this card. Okay. So if you would be one-shot, you get 1 turn of not being one-shot. And go to 10. Don't know if that's worth your spot. Again, you only get 1 ace spec. Unfair stamp. Hold on. Hold on. You can only use this card if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Each player shuffles their hand away. You draw 5 and your opponent draws 2? Just absolute. Yeah, that's a. You knocked me out? Get the hell out of here. Not even supporter time. Just like hyper red card. We're out. We're done. Damn. Yeah, okay. This could be an absolute real one to include. Boomerang energy. It provides colorless. If this card is discarded by an effective attack used by the Pokemon it's attached to, attach this card from your discard pile to that Pokemon after it. Oh. I see. This is the energy that makes all of the attacks that say, like, discard 1 energy or discard 2 energy lose their cost. That's pretty real. I mean, in very specific decks that has a real place. You know, I think you know when building if you want this, but you know. Yo! Oh, what do we got here? Legacy energy. As long as the statue of Pokemon provides every energy type, but provides 1 energy. Okay. Perfect color. That's actually really powerful with some of the Pokemon we've seen. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack in your opponent's Pokemon, that player takes 1 fewer Oh. This is Life Dew? With a once per game. Because, so, Life Dew was an ace-spec the last time around that just said, like, was a tool that said, take 1 less prize on a knockout, and there were ways to recur it in very rude manners. So, this has a once per game to stop that. That said, this is really powerful because if you can turn the prize math, like, if you have no other ace spec, this is an energy that provides any energy that also can turn the tides of a race. This is a good art on this too. All right, speaking of art, we're at 167 to 167, which means we are working into oh, we're working into Pinsir. Beautiful. Thanks, Full Art Pinsir. Glad to be back on the Full Arts. This is the actual reason we're here. Pinsir out hanging out in the fields, with the slow crunch. It's gonna take a berry and crunch. Dancing out in all the Sunflora are having a great time out in the lawn. Beautiful. Oh, is that a Chimcho up there under the? We got like just having a nice day with the sun hat and a big. Is that a big melon? Good old big melon. The 10 frames per second Sunflora segment. Shit, you're right. Okay, so Festival Grounds is the stadium we saw, so that's how we get Festival lead on, is we have to be playing the Festival Stadium. Please enjoy Diplin, who's in the Dipped Apple. Also, down below, we have some friends who are perhaps after an apple. Very cute. Very good sign. Oh. If you would like just a little bit. Out in the storehouse hideaway. That's cute. Scuffed up shoes. Oh my god. This is incredible. Look at this old man. He's like near photorealistic old man. With the torque hole in the furnace. This torque hole has been here for decades. Down here. We have all the pottery. And that's so good. This is again why I love looking at the full arts and the arts in the set. Yo! Uh-huh. The full art action Infernape. With the like fire hollow. Yeah, like the shiny fire around the Infernape here. What a good full art. Oh, is this the like Yukiona Frostless look? That's also very good. Like we're Blizzard House. This is nice. Again, I talk about one of the things I really love about this, and what I really love about this is that we aren't choosing full arts for like competitive play. We're choosing full arts because we have some really incredible art. We have some, like, Pokemon are all beloved, and so giving them all these great arts. Oh! Oh, we're in the whale. All the whales. Whalmers. Fiona hanging out in Whale Zone. So cute. Oh no, is this... This is like... Oh no, this is like the Cramorant who's like, there's too much going on, please. The Cramorant is distressed. This is like, no, oh no. Everything else is out of focus. Yeah, anxiety Cramorant. Everything is out of focus. Everyone is moving so fast and, oh no. Oh no. Help them. Well, we got Bear Friend. Maybe a Natu or a Gulpin. It's stepping across the water to get you. It is gonna get you. Step, 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 step. It is gonna get you. And the one in the background, fuck him up. Get him. Go mess him up. Whoa, the dive bird. Lightning Divebird is terrifying. Like, then there's a bunch of them looking for, you know, we're gonna find Magikarp off the coast. Yeah, I don't. Gorgeous. This is perfect. Like, just right in the chimes. Now this is a much more action enamorous here. Very fun style. Still has all the hearts going on, hearts up the ribbon, hearts flying around, but this is a scene from Powerpuff Girls, yeah. The Residence. Did you know Pokemon's like really good? I don't know if like you knew this, but like Pokemon's like really good. And sometimes you get a card that's like this dog who's just jumping at you, and it's excellent. We got the light coming through on this shot too. Oh. Now this is one of my favorite styles of full arts, which is find any of the cool things in the background you think are great. Um, you know, we have some excellent foreground things like our friend Lotad, who is just clipping along. We got Bidoof, who is on a mission. I don't think Bidoof is with anyone. Bidoof is just on a mission. Uh, you know, we got Pidovs hanging out. Um, Peaceful protest of the assault laser. It would only ever use the beam for good. Yeah, was it the Bolton? Uh, is that an old man with a Larvitar in the background here? Right here? Love these. Yeah! Timber is helping. Thank you, Timber. Timber is helping and Girder is supervising. Thanks, Timber. We needed to build the festival grounds. So we needed to bring all the lumber in for the festival. That rules. It the best punch. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Larian. Larian. Just chopping. I gotta have a barrel. Look at how many barrels and girders and pipes and beams and just Larian is perfect place for chopping. If you want a snack, there's some nuts and bolts. We got a wrench, maybe. Larian is thriving. Find your Applin. Count the Applin 1, 2, and 3. How do you handle a Larian infestation if you own a factory? I think you have to kind of like lure them out. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Applin, and then this one's also a used Applin. Yeah, you're a heat more. No, don't punch them. I mean, punching them will work, but don't do it. Ah, yes. Perfect. It's Tatsugiri, also a Mogus. It's Tatsugiri. I love the, like, yeah, it's Tatsugiri. Like, the little lines on this one in the middle. With this, yeah, pose with the sparkles. I don't know what the Amogus is doing down here. It's fine. Chansey is helping. Chansey is helping. No, Chansey. Watch out. Snorlax has taken over the corner. Nobody can take the space anymore. Bellsprout's just hanging out. Ditto's here. This is good. This is a Pokemon Center for Pokemon by Pokemon. This is like the most Pokemon Center. The Pokemon come here and they get helped out. It's great. There's like donut boxes maybe? I don't know. Okay. Please enjoy the Eevees. We have many Eevees for you to enjoy. They're great. Each of these Eevees is having an excellent time. And also each of these Eevees is sort of sitting around with like different little bits that might push the Eevees into different evolutions. Our Eevee here really likes the flowers. Our Eevee has a Hydreigon Chomp. We have an Eevee who is really interested in this, is going to knock over the cup. We have Sleepy Eevee. We have Pouncy Eevee. Many Eevees for many evolutions. We have 8 of them. A plush chew Hydreigon. Chomping. This is, again, love that Eevees. Love. Okay. Uh-huh. Sinistra EX. Just having a nice dip in the cup. I love it. Ah, Ogerpon EX mask. These are our full art, like hard bordered, looks like, which we see in every one of these sets. We tend to see every EX gets a version of these, which is the dark board, the hard bordered, like alt art. We'll also get some golds probably, and then we'll also get alt arts. So. Magcargo! There's a couple cards Magcargo could be good friends with. Yeah, okay, this is really cool, the Heart Flame Ogerpon EX. Like, it's the same setup where we have the mask and the big, the Ogerpon and the big mask. Yes! Justice! I am here. This is after you henshin, you can Giga Impact. This is a sad mask. Got our buddy. Luxray is ready to stand by for combat. I like this Luxray. I like the Piercing Gaze that also has Volt Strike as an option. I think that's cool. Iron Thorn, the ability blocker, future background. Quite powerful. This is lovely. What a lovely Scream Tail. Not screaming. No screaming today. We already did enough screaming. For now. Greninja EX. Good on you, Greninja. Very powerful. Greninja's always cool. Again, Greninja's for a number of reasons, highly popular Pokemon. Final Mask. That one's cool. I like the eyes on these, by the way. Like, one of these has this symbol and the other one is off. This is true on the others as well. Dragapult. Please enjoy the little Dreepy. Shiny Dreepy. Blissey is no longer angry. This is the happy Blissey. God, this bear. This bear is very cool. What a powerful move to be able to just swap in and be like, it's killing time. Like, wow. Okay. All right. You want the full art caretaker? You got the full art caretaker. You know, I guess if you really want to draw 2 cards every turn, you're not doing other supporter things. I don't think that's good, but you know, I don't mind having a full art. Like that, you know, caretaker gets to be the caretaker. Just like I don't mind any of the Pokemon we choose to get full arts. All right. we have our full art Carmine here. It's like a sleeveless glove? Or like a fingerless glove on one hand? Okay. Hey, Hassel. Hassel getting ready for class. Oh. Dangerously close to a joke. Carmine? Carmine absolutely is getting pretty close to a JoJo's pose, ready to fight. Oh, Kieran. Oh, Kieran has the other side of the glove thing. Okay. Like the same, yeah, right hand with the glove on it. Okay. Nice polite, got the tie on here. The hair is very silly. It's their ball throw. Oh, yeah. I feel like Nimona would have that too. Hey, Lana. Lana, you gotta watch out. You're gonna lose the sandal again. I like that there's full art trainers as well. Like yeah, Nimona has the bracer. Ooh, Lucian's got a full art. Sweet. I always feel like Nimona's gonna let the bracer go and become more powerful. I don't know how that would work, but you know. Hey, Baron. These are nice full arts. As is usual, I like we tend to get the supporters get a set, and the supporters get like a full art like this. That's like the character like off doing their thing, and then we tend to get a couple. Like we're gonna get a third set of a couple supporters. I would guess sight unseen it's gonna be like Hassel Carmine. Would be my guess for like third set of full arts. Oh, this is cool. Sinistro, like we have this like kind of like storage room. We're looking at old photo album that has the little prints on it. That's cute. Kind of coming out of the teacup. This is good. Again, the third set of EXs in full arts, these are the ones I'm like, damn, these are great. Ooh. A very stylized mask for our buddy in the background here. Right down there. We have foiling outside of the mask, but not on the mask. This one seems like a really powerful card, so I don't know if we have all four of them in this style, but like this one does not surprise me to get multiples. Okay, no, we get all. Oh, actually, I like this mask a lot. Like with the because like we have our ogre pawn in the back, and then the mask is very crystallized because of the terrestrialization going on. Very like very cool. Yeah, these like flames of the ground. I'm always sad that Ogre Pawn's focused on the mask because I think Ogre Pawn is very cute. Yeah, I always like to look at the little Ogre Pawn in the background. Oh, yeah, this set is incredible. I love this one with the like very stylized masks. Ogre Pawn doesn't have the same, has a different stylization in the back than the like terrestrialized mask. Then we yeah, of course. You got it. That's such a good Greninja, damn. That's a JoJo. This Greninja is playing Splatoon. That was my thought with the same thought with the coloration. But there's also a number of shurikens flying at you in the Splatoon art here. I think Greninja would be quite good at Splatoon. Here's our fourth mask. Okay. The like down here, like where our Ogre Pawn is, looks really cool too with the square ground effect. And then I'm guessing we're gonna get a blood moon. Yeah, here's blood. Oh my god, look at all the friends of Bloodbear. Munchlax. Teddy. Gotta have that honey. That's very cool. It's also great because like the other Ursalunas we've had are very like aggressive looking. So having one that's like, just kind of digging in, having some honey and having some buddies that helps out. Look at all the there's a lot of little flies. Yep, okay. I correctly guessed that Carmine would have... Oh, at the festival. That's cute. Get some egg and noodle from the festival. Thanks, Carmine. I appreciate it. Who doesn't want to go to the festival and discard their hand and draw 5 cards? Oh, sure. Why did I should have assumed Kieran would have got one too. Like both of them. Oh, look at this like Pikachu, like the Pikachu masks. That's cute. Everyone has a different mask, and look how happy Kieran looks. Like, I'm gonna grab 2 of these, and gonna have one with me and my sister. Gonna have a dipped apple, caramel dipped apple. It's gonna be great. Oh, this is exactly what I want. Hi, Lana. Lana is here to find 3 Pokemon from the discard pile. One of them is this Wooper right here. It's that Wooper. Surskit and good friends. Oh, and Perrin. Oh my god. Okay. As to what I just reacted to, it's this. That's perfect. we had the other. We had the other card. Oh. That's so good. Parent and dog. I mean, that's true. If you had Hisu and Growlithe, I'm certain you would take many pictures. Hang out in the woods with your very cool dog. What a good choice. I like that a lot for a full art. Alright, then we get gold. This is the one we just had, but it's in gold. Farron is too busy hanging out with her dog to do her job. Do we get a gold of all 4? No, we get gold of Blood Moon and gold of Teal. I guess Teal is the one it's named after, so. Yeah, okay, if you're gonna choose a basic trainer, so this happens at the end of each set. Each set tends to have a couple of, like, trainers from previous sets. Like a trainer from previous sets and then like a basic energy. Like stuff like that we get a full art gold of. And they tend to be really basic cards that are really, like, this lets you get like a highest rarity of the cool basic card. Because Buddy Buddy Poffin is a very strong contender for like VIP pass replacement. Nothing's VIP pass and nothing ever will be, but Buddy Buddy Poffin plays a strong role of the setup that VIP pass did. Hammer! Yeah, if you want the shiniest Pokeball or whatever. Like these allow you to get the shiniest of the generic trainers because like Enhanced Hammer and Buddy Buddy Poffin like are you know, like Enhanced Hammer is a card that is you know, it's just like you can have any number of the common one for whatever you want. Yeah, these are, so the way that Pokemon works in paper is that, like, say I want to build a deck around Teal Mask Ogerpon. Generally, the base Ogerpon, like, is like, if at max, if it's like a really powerful card, that ends up being like $10 at like most. Usually it's like, okay, you can find this for like, you know, if it's like a powerful card, it's like $5 or something like that. And then the cool EXs, the full art ones like this are the cards that have a lot of value for like collecting and buying and selling. So that's where the expensive cards in a set come from. So your expensive cards in Pokemon, usually, not 100%, but like 99%, are like these like really like full art, alt art, different ones. And if you just want to build the deck, you can do it for like $30. Sometimes you have a couple cards that break that rule, but those are very closely the exception. That Enhanced Hammer is going for $20 apparently. That makes sense. Yeah, cool rare thing. Oh, Rescue Board. Rescue Board's cool. The retreat cost of the Pokemon that's attached to is 1 less. If it's 30 HP or less, it has no retreat cost. Again, this is like an uncommon from that just exists. One of the previous sets, and you can get it in cool high rarity now, and very gold and shiny. And then the last card. Oh, huh. What is this? As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides every type of energy, but only 1 energy at a time. If there's any other special energy, it provides color. Huh. So this is all color energy, but only if it's the only special energy. So again, this works for like the Dawn Brothers, the Momotaros, ones that want dark energy. Also, one thing about these is that these reprints don't change the legality of the card. This is an H printing, which is the current set stuff. Whereas this is the G printing. This is in G, so like when G rotates, even though this is printed in a more recent set, its legality is attached to its original printing. But yeah, it makes Pokemon like super affordable to jump into, like if you just want to build a deck, and if you want to like get everything cool and shiny, that's where like you can spend and get cool stuff on. So I'm very happy with going through this set. Not having played the DLC means a little less on like the trainer side. I don't know who Carmine or Kieran or Perrin are, but I do know, you know, who everyone else is here. You know, I know who Probe Pass is. So I don't need to know the deep and tragic backstory of Caretaker. Why does Caretaker only get you 2 cards? Why are they stuck at the community center? These questions and more can be answered to you. Anyway, that's gonna be it. That was all I was here for. I'm very happy to have gone through this with you. New set, new Pokemon, new art. We get to experience all sorts of cool stuff. I love doing these, and I hope you get to enjoy them too. And we get to look through all these incredibly rad coming at you Pokemon. So, anyway, next week we'll be back to a bit more of a normal schedule. This weekend, Psych and I are planning on trying to get through GX Thunderdome Yu-Gi-Oh! Streams. That should be on Monday, earlier in the day. Probably like 3 or 4 start, probably 4 start. So if you want to catch more of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games that we did earlier, you can catch those. Otherwise, other normal streams will be going on. Dragon Warrior Wednesday, Slay the Spire, etc. So, anyway. Thank you all for joining. Hope you all had a fun time. This is just really fun to go ahead and see all the cool effort that gets put into all these cards. So, thank you for joining. Follow, subscribe. Have a good night, everybody.